Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty. Doesn't matter if she killed her 3 kids with her bare hands. It's Big Pharma's fault. So we're out here today to show our support for Lindsay. We love you, Lindsay. Go, Candace!
Candace is a nut bar, huh? She's out there for Lindsay Clancy and everybody. What's up, everybody? How's it going? So great to see you all here tonight. So happy to get ready to give you the news. Got a whole bunch of stories to talk about. Everything looks great. My camera is off for some reason. Let me try to fix it. I am off to the left. I shouldn't be. It's great. It's going to act stupid on me now. There we go. I feel better now. I'm centered. What's Bella doing up there all crazy and crooked? All right. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Jonathan's here. Sylvie's here. Sylvie gifted a membership. Well, thank you. That's great. Thank you so much, Sylvie. That means right now, folks, we're just $94 away from adding a first additional hour and just 44 away from Bellavision. Because there is a goal, like there is every night on this show. And the way it works is for every $100 in total that comes in across all platforms, YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, becoming a member, or gifting memberships on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, or Twitch, along with locals, coins, Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. We add it all up. When we hit 100, we add an extra hour. And then for each additional $100 in total that comes in, we add another additional hour to the show. So the show could be as long as you want it to be. It could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 24, 46, hike, you name it. And then when we hit 50, we activate Bellavision. And that's unless somebody is so generous they give $25 or greater, which that could be a Cash App, a PayPal, a Super Tip, a Super Chat, a Rumble Rant, or it could be 5 gifted memberships on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, or locals. Well, any number of things. But thank you so much. S.E. Gatlin, good to see you. Doc, what's up, buddy? Andy Gorski, great to have you. Sherry Gatlin's over here on YouTube and on Rumble, it seems like. She's in both places. Mr. Sneaky Sean was first. None of your business is here, too. Good to see you. Narrowway, what's up? So we got some stories we're going to get into real quick, and in a hurry. All right. But first, we're going to get into some news stories. And there's a couple things that I wanted to get into, which let me find it here. This one here, real quick. All right. There we go. This first news story. Liberal judges have just ruled that President Trump has illegally appointed his respective interim U.S. attorneys in both Nevada and New York because the Senate is still allowing blue slips to block his nominees. This is ridiculous. This is outrageous. They need to terminate the blue slips. And here Trump's Trump's going to tell us about it.
It's not disqualified. You've got a blue slip thing that's horrible. It's a horrible thing. It makes it impossible to appoint a judge or a U.S. attorney, and it's a shame. And the Republicans should be ashamed of themselves that they allow this to go on, because I can't appoint a U.S. attorney that's not a Democrat, because they put a block on it. So if you appoint in Virginia or in New Jersey or in California a U.S. attorney or a judge, I mean, a judge situation is ridiculous. The only people that you can get by are Democrats, because they will put a hold on it.
Oh, and I totally forgot to say who got the membership from Sylvia. Sylvia brought in Vincent Tuff to become a member of the JimTellsYou. So thank you so much, Sylvia, and welcome to the JimTellsYou, Vincent Tuff.
If I put up George Washington and Abraham Lincoln to be U.S. attorney in New Jersey, or to be U.S. attorney in Virginia, we have Democrat senators, they will not approve them. And this is a gentleman's agreement that's lasted for too long, and it doesn't make it, especially in light of what's going on today. It means you can't appoint a Republican U.S. attorney, and we don't play the same game with them, but they do. And I hope that somebody speaks to Senator Grassley about doing something about the blue slip, because I'm telling you, John, I put up great people, top people, highest education, the best lawyers to be like U.S. attorney, and both senators. It only takes one, but if they're Democrat senators, they say we're not going to approve it. I had a couple of them say, "Why don't you appoint Democrats?" All because Senator Grassley, with his blue slip stuff, will not let anybody go by. By the way, the Democrats have violated the blue slip provision on numerous occasions, but we don't do it. And what it means is, I guess I just have to keep appointing people for 3 months and then just appoint another one. And it's a very sad situation. We're losing a lot of great people. We have about 7 U.S. attorneys who are not going to be able to keep their jobs much longer because of the blue slip. Because I think I know why they did that, to protect their ass. Okay, that's why they did that. But it should be done away with. I want to be able to appoint the most highly educated, the most respected people. They can't keep their jobs because of the blue slips. Terrible. And something's got to change, because this is ridiculous. It's happening all over. Like, this happened in Trump's first term too, when Trump's first in 45, back in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, same shit happened. He had, U.S. attorneys that could never get in, judgeships they didn't get in. Like, what is going on? What is the problem here? What is the problem? This is ridiculous stuff, man. It really is. It's still happening all the time. All right. And then I wanted to talk about this, because J.D. Vance just dog walks Governor Tim Walz. Just basically just annihilates him.
Now, some of the stories sound insane. In one case, we were working to deport a convicted child rapist in the state of Minnesota. Tim Walz. You remember Tim Walz? Caught wind. And you know what he did? He pardoned the guy. He pardoned a literal child rapist to prevent him from being deported out of the United States of America. Now, we went ahead and got this guy out of our country anyways.
Good.
And Walz.
Yes.
Gets better. Walz asked the country what good it accomplished. Did that make us any safer? That is a direct quote from the Democrat governor of Minnesota. To which I say, as the father of 4 young children, 10-year-olds and everybody else can breathe a little bit easier in Minnesota. Yes, Tim, of course it's good to get violent criminals the hell out of the United States of America.
That's weird. I keep getting a notification that chat's disconnected on YouTube. What is going on? Hi, Pizzhacker. How you doing, Chad? Good to see you. So YouTube is going to give us problems again tonight, huh? That's just great. That's just great, YouTube. Always giving me problems, YouTube. Always giving me issues. Always making it so that I can't do a show. Screwing up my show. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Chat is weird. It's acting really weird. It really is. I re-logged in. It worked fine for me. Yeah, I had to do. Yeah, what's up? I had to do a update. I had to update Google Chrome because it was acting weird. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, you need an update. And so that basically logs everything out. So I had to reopen It's crazy. It's crazy what I had to do right before the show. What's up, Jonathan? Good to see you. Dan, great to have you. So yeah, so this is good. JD Vance is going to work, doing stuff, you know. And some of you might have been asking questions about who's going to replace Caroline Leavitt. Well, Trump's going to answer some questions about it.
Maybe you. Maybe
Scott
you.
Jennings, sir.
Scott Jennings is good. That one right there. My friend from Iowa. But I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want it. I don't know. Maybe Margot. What do you think of Margot? Maybe Margot. Let's see. Who do we have in this group? I will tell you this, and Caroline will tell you this. I have never had so many job applications in my life.
Yes, sir.
They all want that job. They love that job. She's made that job very glamorous.
Yep, she's made the job so glamorous. She's done a good job. I really liked Kayleigh McEnany. Remember Kayleigh McEnany from the first Trump, first Trump White House? She was good. It will get worse with the midterms. Buckle up. I know. Hey, what's up, Lisa? Good to see you. America First. Hey, all ScrewTube is always here for you. Well, I know they're always trying to screw me over. So, and then there was one other thing before we get into the news story, which is this is Jonathan Turley. We talked about this stuff with Carmelo Anthony yesterday, but Jonathan Turley kind of breaks it down, what the legal wrangling that's going on, which I think is really good. I like Jonathan Turley a lot. He's not right wing at all. He's a lefty, but not lefty. He's a liberal, but he believes in the Constitution and actually what it means. So.
That it shows that the legal system is failing Black Texans. So it's really taking on this added rhetorical aspect and political aspect. In reality, the motions for a new trial, in my view, are fairly anemic. One of the arguments is that I would have testified, but my lawyers really didn't fully advise me on this stuff. That's going to be hard to make out. I mean, this was a knowing point of strategy on the point of the defense. This gentleman's agreement, as it's being referred to, is not that uncommon. Sometimes lawyers and prosecutors will say, you know what, there's bad stuff here for both of us. Do we really want this in the trial? So it was a trade-off on both sides. They were saying both sides decided that they wanted to minimize the risk. Now, is a court going to order a new trial because of that strategic decision? I think it still will be tough. And they're also arguing again that the jury lacked a black juror. But the jury was not, as is commonly reported, all white. It actually had minority members. And the prosecutors struck potential black jurors because they were educators. And this was a crime that occurred on school grounds. So all of that is going to have to be reviewed here and possibly on appeal.
Yeah, you're talking about the Asian members, the diversity that was on the court that might not have been Black Americans. Can I just ask you about that for a second? As you're putting a jury together, and both sides can weigh in, they can strike. I think you get up to 3 or more of people that you can just say no to, no matter what the situation. I mean, is it even legal to just pick out people based on race? Or how does it work?
Well, first, there's no allegations that that's what happened, Harris Faulkner. Not at all. There was some people who said they couldn't be, that no, we can't be impartial. So they got struck automatically. And then these other ones, they were educators. It'd be like if there was a cop, they're going to strike a cop. Hey, Garfield, thanks for the 5. Says Trump needs to get gas prices under control. Democrats are nominating insane socialists. It's too risky letting them get into office in the midterms. Oh, I know. He's got to get going. But, I mean, if people want to vote for these crazy commies, I mean, the people are going to get what they deserve. That's the bottom line. So, I mean, gas prices are not as insane as I thought they would be much higher. I mean, oil is down to $86 a barrel today. So, I don't know. It should be in the 70s or 60s. But, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Thank you for the 5. But, yeah, I mean, they need to get the war under control. Either finish the war or walk away. One of the two. The problem's going to be, though, if you walk away, are things going to get any better? No, they're going to get worse because they're going to still be shooting at ships. If the U.S. completely pulled out of the Middle East, just left, we'd be looking at $100 oil prices because there would be no oil coming out of there. They would be bombing everything. If anyone says they can't convict, they're of the jury. Yeah. They're off the jury. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's not legal to pick out people on race. You can make what's called a Batson objection. And in that case, the court said you're not entitled to a jury of a particular racial mix.
Okay.
But at the same time, under the Sixth Amendment and equal protection, prosecutors cannot strike jurors just because of their race. Now, here the prosecutors are saying we struck them on the basis of their backgrounds. We felt that they were going to be more sympathetic to the defense. That is a valid issue. So the courts will look at this, and it's not the result that is the determinative factor here. It is the motivation. Why did the prosecutors do it? Does this appear objectively reasonable?
Yeah, this is objectively reasonable, which it was. It was. Thought we were cooking. You talk about me? I cooked last night. I put this video up. It was a short video because I had to do it on my phone. But it's up for everyone to see if you want to see it. It's called I Cook Biltong Meats. It's a great one. Yeah, so this is good. I can't see them giving them a new trial. You know, I just don't see it happening. I really don't. I really don't see it happening. But what do I know? What do I know? All right, first news story of the evening. Did you guys hear about this? Alex Jones got a win in the Texas Court of Appeals. Now, I have to wonder if this might be why he's had this sudden change of heart, and now he's attacking Trump, and he's anti-Israel, and he's going, with Candace Owens and all this stuff, and attacking Tim Pool, and he's basically doing all this stuff, which is acting really weird. And now all of a sudden he gets a favorable ruling out of the Texas court. Now, if I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if I was a conspiracy theorist, I would say, like, did they tell him, take our side and we'll start pulling, taking the boot off your neck. We'll start letting you get some wins. I wonder who said that last night. Well, I don't know. But this is weird that this happened, right? Drinking heavily again. Well, yeah, he's drinking heavily again, but this happening right after he did this heel turn basically on all his friends is weird. It's very weird, in my opinion. What is this?
Budget. Your business has to balance their budget.
This is not about I don't know. What is this about here?
It just seems like monopoly money. So why bother reining it in? Just keep spending. It's
about spending. So, yeah. Infowars Alex Jones scored a legal win today after a Texas judge reduced a $50 million judgment against the company to a mere $1.5 million. Well, I'm calling it a mere $1.5 million is not like, it's still a lot of money, but it was $50 million. So making it now 1.5 is a little different. Hey, look at that. We got a raid. Muffin Rando. Thank you to everybody who came over from Watching the Watchers. Robert Gavea. I really appreciate it. I hope you all will consider becoming a subscriber, and checking out the show and maybe giving a thumbs up and possibly maybe even becoming a member, and sticking around. We're trying to, grow this channel and provide you with news stories. I do participate with the chat, acknowledge the chat, and try to, interact with it as much as I can while keeping the show moving along. And, hopefully you guys will like the show and you'll throw me a like and maybe, subscribe. I really would appreciate it. This guy was me. Okay. Yes. Alex is anti-war. Yes, he's always been anti-war. You're right. He has. But this is different. Like the stuff about Tyler Robinson and, that's not really, 48.5 million out of 50 ain't bad. Well, yeah, it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Trump and Alex have never been buds. Well, yes. Thank you, Jenny, for coming over on the Watcher Raid. Thank you so much. I was just teleported from Robert. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mama Pillow. Great to see you. It begins. Yes, it always begins. So we will go through as many news stories as possible tonight and see how far we can get. So the case is one of several linked to Jones's claim that the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting was a hoax. From what I remember, Alex Jones did he ever say personally that it was a hoax, or did he just have people on his network and talk to people who said it was a hoax? I thought he just had people on that said it. I don't think he ever actually said it, but maybe I I didn't watch all his shows, so I don't know. What's that? Raiders of the Lost Art. Well, thank you for being here, Dylan. Friday's decision saw the state's Third Court of Appeals determined that a pair of parents had not shown they experienced harassment from Jones's claim to the extent justifying breaking the $750,000 state maximum cap. The decision reduced the judgment to $750,000 per plaintiff, or a total of $1.5 million. Alex did say it. Hey, what's up, CF Rob? Thanks for being here. Beat me up, Jim. I need to hear the news. Well, I hope you stick around. I hope everybody sticks around. I really do. I hope they hit the like. I hope they subscribe, all that good stuff. And, everything will work out great, they say. That's what they say. Some say. Some people say, as they say. So the case is separate from the Connecticut case that saw a $1.4 billion award, which I'm pretty sure that case is still up on appeal. I think that's going to federal court, though. And there's no way. There's no way that can stand, really. He said they were crisis actors. Even if he said it was a hoax, the judgment was absurd. The way the whole trial went down was so. Well, yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, like the Connecticut case, they basically said, "Oh, you're guilty. You're defaulted guilty because you couldn't give us the YouTube files that YouTube deleted on you or something." I can only hang for a while before my night. Well, thanks for being here as much as possible. I appreciate it. Commentary is surely free speech. Look at The View. Yeah, definitely. If my child was murdered, the last thing I would care about is a loudmouth said on the radio show. Kind of. He entered in the area of strong surmise, but they were angling for his head. Yeah. See, hundreds of people were talking about it, but they went after Alex. I don't like Alex, but it wasn't right what they did. No. You don't have to like him and still understand that he has free speech, and what happened here was like crazy violation of his constitutional rights. You could see the crisis actors laughing and then put on a serious face as their name was called. Yeah, I did see some weird stuff. What's up, Kelly? Thanks for being here. Jones is primarily known as a conspiracy theorist and founder of the Infowars network. I mean, he's been right about a lot of stuff. He really has. He's been right about a lot of stuff. So, Texas court slashes $50 million judgment against Alex Jones, which is, we could say it's good. The ruling doesn't affect the $1.4 billion judgment. We talked about that. It was a unanimous opinion. So that it wasn't like a split decision. It was unanimous.
Heard of him. Longtime right-wing radio host. Welcome back to The Takeout. Alex Jones, you've probably heard of him. Longtime right-wing radio host, leader of a media website known as Infowars. There's a new book out titled The Madness of Believing. It's a memoir written by someone who worked for Jones for many years. And I sat down with the author, Josh Owens. Here's some of that conversation. Josh, you write on page 17, this caught my eye. What if behind the veil of power, dark rituals and darker motives guided the course of world events? You ask that question to yourself. In that moment, something began to shift inside me, you write. The dullness of everyday existence parted to reveal a more vivid world beneath the surface. Suddenly, I was no longer a bored, directionless kid staring at a computer screen. Is that the essence of the lure of Alex Jones and why he had built and continues to maintain a pretty sizable audience?
I think so. It's hard to say. I feel like there's so many different ways that people get pulled into that world.
Okay.
And for me, it didn't start out as ideology. It started out with movies.
Started out with movies. What does he mean by movies? Well, Doc says, well, he has to be right about at least a few things or no one will pay attention to him. It's the critical things like calling for Trump to be removed via the 25th that really matter. He's trash. Yeah, that was just ridiculous when he was, that was just ridiculous. He was, Bohemian Grove, he went there. He did that. His stuff on the Fed, I think, was good. And the stuff, like his stuff in the early 2000s and stuff, around 9/11 and everything was good stuff, I thought. Alex Jones spoke in generality, did not personally name anyone with them to be able to turn around and sue them for defamation. Yes, that's true. I think so. Yes. Hey, HJ Remy, what's up? Thanks for being here. What's up, Snake Eater? Glad you're back.
Jones paints this like vivid portrait of the world through film, and not as allegory or satire. He literally says that films are pulling the curtain back on reality. And so for me, that was just, I was perfectly attuned to sort of see the world in that way.
Because you were studying film.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's sort of what pulled me in. I mean, he uses Sidney Lumet's network to describe the media and how that world functions. And then he'll go further into, you know, John Carpenter's They Live, and then every Stanley Kubrick movie. And that's just sort of how he paints. I mean, he gives this like cinematic verisimilitude to everything. And it just sold me.
And does it create a kind of patina of intellectualism that has a hook? People think they're getting smarter when in fact they're getting dumber?
Absolutely. And it doesn't help that you're also being told that you're dumb initially for not knowing these things.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. You feel much smarter than you are, because I mean, it's not based on anything other than just these ideas that are coming from Jones's head.
Describe from
So yeah, so that's very interesting. He's got thoughts coming from his head. I mean, some of his stuff, like he did one, I want to say, like The Road to Tyranny, 9/11. He did a documentary that was pretty good. So, hey, what's up, Mary? Thanks for being here. Yeah. So, yeah. So, hey, but you know what's not a conspiracy is Biltong from the King of Biltong over at www.biltongusa.com. It's no conspiracy that they make great products and they deliver them right to your door, fast, fresh, all American made, no preservatives, no additives, no crap, just healthy, good food straight to you. They got Biltong, they got Peri Peri, Ghost Pepper, Carolina Reaper, which is kind of like a dried meat, almost like a beef jerky, but not as salty or anything like that. And it's really good. It's really, really good. And they also have other stuff. They have ribeye steaks. They got chicken, braai chicken. They've got different sausages, breakfast sausages, farmer sausage, you know, Boer Wars sausage. It was really good. I've had it. They also have smoked sausage and, you know, hot dogs and all types of things you can get. So head on over, and they have cakes, candies, snacks, cookies from all around the world, all types of stuff. So head on over to www.biltongusa.com and get yourself some good meat, some good food from a good American. Tell them Jim sent you and save 10%. Sorry about that. How did I do that ad read? It's important. It's getting easy to tell who works for Cobra. The guy seems like a controlled person. If people do not trust the government, it's for a good reason. Yeah, more than a few good reasons. Yeah. I have questions about your Biltong video thumbnail. It was just a thumbnail that was created by AI. I don't know. I just told the AI to create a thumbnail of me cooking Biltong, and that's what they came up with. Biltong meats, or meat from Biltong USA. What's up, Marjorie? How you doing? Great to see you.
my audience what it was like to tiptoe into that world and then to launch yourself into that world.
Yeah, there was no sort of, I started listening to him in 2008. It wasn't until 2013 where I got offered a job and I moved halfway across the country to work there. I moved from Georgia to Austin.
As an advocate, as
a firm believer in a lot of his ideas. So yeah, I mean, I think, I first went in there as like a well-meaning young guy thinking that I was going there to make a difference. Like it felt like what I was going to do there was important. Telling the truth, exposing this world that not everyone is exposed to because people are covering it up. Mm-hmm. And then pretty quickly, so, I was told on my first day, for, a year in Jones's world or a day in Jones's world, it feels like a year. And so my 4 years felt like 4 decades almost. But it was immediate. I mean, so much is happening while you're there in his world. That
someone is suing YouTube for the YouTube premium advertising ad fee content, but content creators do their own ad streams and ad claims it's fraudulent. I don't feel that way, but the ads are just a read or something, which you do on the show. I don't know. Not sure. Is there something you're supposed to do on YouTube? Like you're supposed to tell YouTube you're doing an ad read or something like that, and then they know it's not ad free, or I don't know. They don't even need the They Live glasses anymore. That's right. You don't even need them anymore. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the lawsuit, but I'll keep an eye out for it. That would be interesting. That would be interesting to find out what happens with it.
yeah, you get sucked in, and it's almost hard to pay attention to. Like, it's almost like I've described it before, like taking a fire hose to the mouth. There's just so much coming at you that.
Yeah, this guy clearly got paid off. He wrote a book and all this stuff. It's like people go work and stuff. And it's like, oh, I could just get paid. And I don't know. Let's just say sponsored ads for specific creators are very important. Don't want people to have to depend on Google AdSense. Yeah.
It completely envelops you.
And it envelops and holds in thrall an audience that has to constantly be fed things that are either increasingly or perpetually alarmist.
Yeah, so much of it is fear-based. So much of it keeps
these people on the news talking about fear-based. What happened in 2020 and 2021 with the COVID stuff? That they had counters on CBS and CNN with the dead and all this stuff, and it's going to be a what? You're talking about fear-based? Oh my God, it's going to be war. We're going to do this. World War III, all the stuff. These people are nuts. Oh my God. What a whiner. Yeah, this is crazy.
Doing that register.
Like the pot calling the kettle
you're
black.
Scared of what's out there. And so you're constantly tuning in to see what horribleness awaits you, what lies you're being told.
There's also an undercurrent of profit, though. Products and other things that toggle back and forth between scare and purchase. Scare, purchase.
Photo projections.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I first started listening to him, and maybe that was just the patina of being a new listener and being sucked in, but like he wasn't selling his own privately labeled supplements. He was selling stickers and T-shirts and DVDs and encouraging his audience to print those DVDs and give them out for free, which at the time I believed, okay, well, it's not about profit. It's about the ideas, which I think ultimately he just saw that as an advertising opportunity to get his name out there.
Thanks,
but
Ethan.
it worked on me because I just sort of never considered that. But as soon as I started working there, I made the first ad for the very first privately labeled supplement that he made.
Oh, okay.
And then everything changed after that.
Oh, so it was all your fault. So we have this guy to blame for all the super vitality stuff. But just Ron says, I would much rather have my favorite content creators do their own in-stream ads. YouTube takes 30%. Well, YouTube takes 30%, and if you donate on an Apple phone, Apple takes 30% also. So you only get 40% of what the people donate. You use an Apple product, an Apple phone to donate. It's terrible. What's up, D-Watt? How you doing? Great to have you here. The only thing that people didn't understand is that they went after Alex to shut him up. That's right. I've seen so much blue chew gold, it's giving me a stiff neck. There you go. Does Alex use Pfizer? I don't know. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a little while, D-Watt. But, people got stuff going on in their life. I know how it is. So I think I'm done with listening to this clown. So just basically, the unanimous opinion found that the parents did not show their harassment rose to level that would allow them to exceed the 750 limit. So Jones, who portrayed the lawsuit as an attack on his First Amendment rights, which it completely was, conceded during the trial that the attack was 100% real and that he was wrong to have lied about it. Well, did he lie about it, or was he just wrong? I mean, are people not allowed to make a mistake? What's up, Amber? How you doing? Thanks for being here. It's good to have a Ko-Fi account. Yeah, I have a Ko-Fi. I've got a Cash App, PayPal, Super Tips, all that stuff, whatever. And mainly that's just make it easier for people, whatever way they're comfortable with donating. If they want to, they can. So Jones and his company have filed for bankruptcy, and those proceedings continue. The website Onion moved to take over Jones' platform and turn his bullhorn of conspiracy theories into parody sites. I mean, who is a fan of Alex Jones that are going to continue to watch after the Onion takes over? So I met Alex at the Stop the Steal rally. He was nice. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think I would like to hang out with Alex Jones and talk to him and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, So he gave up the Infowars brands in April, moved to a new location, switching his shows to new websites and posting them on his personal X account. So the Onion, meanwhile, has set up its own parody version of Infowars, running videos of shows spoofing Jones and donating some of its funds. Oh, and donating some of its funds to the Sandy Hook family. Oh, so there must have been some kind of backdoor deal between the Sandy Hook family and the Onion, which would make it kind of illegal, wouldn't it? Equal offset coming on Cash App. Didn't realize how ninja-fied. Well, it is. Thank you, though. Thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate it. And with that, that means we're now just 89 away from adding a first additional hour and just 39 away from Bellavision. Bellavision. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that. Lurch Linger for 5 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Lurch Linger. Thank you so much. So that means, folks, we are now just $84 away from adding a first additional hour and just 34 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much. I would chill with Alex. Yeah, I would hang out with him. I think it would be fun. I would hang out with Alex Jones, no joke. Because I'm saying, I don't know. He seems like he likes to drink and party and do stuff. And then, hey, look at that. Wasted Quake Ranger just gave 5 on the Cash App, I believe. I think so. Bella, Jim, and Freedom. Thank you so much for the 5. So that means we're now just 79 away from adding a first additional hour and just 29 away from Bellavision. Thank you, everybody. Yes, thank you for your support. YouTube sued, and this lawsuit could financially destroy many content creators. Uncle the Bailey. Oh, wow. Always took Alex with a grain of salt. Now that grain is the size of a Himalayan salt lamp, but those lawsuits were a criminal prosecution for his opinions. Yeah. Totally. I find Alex a little over the top, but I do listen to him, and I do not buy everything he says. Yeah, I enjoy listening to him sometimes. Search behavior will draw the eye of Sauron. Yeah. Such behavior. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, here's the thing. Like, some of the stuff he said is so, like, insane. Like, he was saying about, tetracycline, right? Tetracycline turning the frogs gay, and people thought he was crazy, and it turns out it was really doing it, and they had to admit it. I'm not turning them gay, but just basically them change genders and stuff like that. He's been writing about a lot of stuff. Yeah. You've been amazed and shocked by some of his revelations, but he's way too hyperbolic, bombastic. Yeah. I mean, I think he does that because it draws people in, I think. Chew the meat, spit out the bones. Yeah. There you go. There you go. There you go. So that's that story. And it's basically, everywhere. Same thing on the AP. They knocked the 50 million down to 1.5. So I'm sure he's happy about that. Why you got to be happy about that. And another story that's kind of on the same frame with lying media. First time I heard of Alex Jones was when he came on Art Bell. I used to love listening to Art Bell. What was it like? Coast to Coast, right? Was it Coast to America, Coast to Coast, or Coast to Coast America, or was it Coast to Coast, something like that, right? What's the difference between an opinion and a lie? Well, a lie is if you say something that you know isn't true. An opinion is something that you believe. He also said that fluoride in water is bad, and it is. Yeah, yes, he did. Look at this. Another 5 from CF Rob says Alex's political commentary, and they had no right to do so to him. I've listened to him, but his overall delivery yelling is not my style. Well, thank you, though. Thank you so much for the 5. And that means right now we are just $74 away from adding a first additional hour and just 24 away from Bellavision. Wow. This is great. We're moving right along tonight. Art Bell is goated. Yeah, coast to coast with Art Bell. Hold on. I have to do some housekeeping real quick here. All right. Yeah, hey, Greg. Bye, Greg. See you in 30 minutes. So same thing here. Court cuts the 50 million judgment, but this next story is good news for anybody who likes to, lying media be held responsible. Former Alabama basketball player wins a defamation suit against the New York Times. This is the first time in 50 years, more than 50 years, that the New York Times has lost a defamation suit. They've basically been bulletproof for the longest time, ever since New York Times v. Sullivan, I believe it was, or Sullivan v. New York Times, one of the two. When the whole thing, that's a case that basically established the whole like actual malice standard for public figures. Yeah, so they've been. Let's see, sir. The newspaper said it will review its legal options. Of course, they want to. So, Alabama jury ruled on August 20th that the New York Times defamed ex-college basketball player Kai Spears when the newspaper falsely reported in 2023 that he was present during a fatal shooting in Tuscaloosa. Spears, who was a walk-on basketball player with the University of Alabama's Crimson Tide, Roll Tide, filed a defamation suit against the newspaper in May 2023 after it falsely reported that he was one of the passengers in a car involved in the January 15, 2023 shooting that killed the 23-year-old mother, Jamia Harris. Why let Greg come in here and spew propaganda? This person is not coming here to have an honest discussion and debate. I don't. I just time them out. You know what I mean? Every time I see him. So that's all. You know. I don't think Alex is paid for, but I do think he thinks if he makes comments that liberals like, they'll be kind to him in his pocketbook. I think it's an act. It could be. What's up? Roll Tide. That's right. If someone can successfully and honestly sue any media, I'm here for it. That's what I'm saying. So after a 9-day trial, the 8-person jury in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Alabama sided with Spears and awarded him $9.25 million in damages. His attorney, Matt Glover, welcomed the ruling, saying he believed it will help improve journalism across the country, which I hope so. Charlie Statlander, a spokesman for the New York Times, said the company was disappointed in the jury decision. Well, of course, they lost. Of course, they're disappointed. And called it an honest mistake and will review its legal options. Oh, it's always an honest mistake when they do it. Yeah. Wasn't it an honest mistake when Alex Jones did it? We thank the jury for its service, but believe the verdict and award are contrary to the law. Really? So did you come out and say that what happened to Alex Jones was contrary to the law? Did the New York Times come to Alex Jones's defense? Did any mainstream media come to Alex Jones' defense? No, they didn't. That's right. Good for him. Yeah. You can't smash it anymore. Smashed it. Yeah. So the case stemmed from an article that identified Spears as being present during a shooting, citing an anonymous source. Spears said in his complaint that the newspaper's false report had affected his education and his ability to advance in basketball. He also said the false statements would permanently associate him with murder. That's right. Happy Friday, everyone. That's right, D-Watt. What Alex is saying about Tim Pool's beyond the pale. Totally false and frankly sad. Going to Tucker, Meghan, Candace, woke right route is because the Jews is career suicide. The newspaper later issued an editor's note saying the article misidentified the person in the car when the shooting occurred. But that was only after the lawsuit was filed. See, they're not saying that in here. Why aren't you saying that? Why aren't you saying that after he filed the defamation suit is when they made the editor's note? Based on the information from a person on the case, they identified him, a freshman basketball player. The Alabama's athletic director said Spears' father denied he was present. And the newspaper included those responses and reviewed its reporting, but did not conclude any other changes were warranted. Newspaper said editors assigned further reporting after Spears filed the suit, which determined that the other person at the scene was not Spears. So yes, after he filed the lawsuit, they said, oh, wait, we were wrong. It wasn't you. I watched the CNN trial, the trial of CNN being sued by a government contractor a couple of years ago. The contractor won and CNN got hammered with damages. It was great. Yeah, I like to see it happen. So the article reporting on the verdict said the newspaper had not lost a defamation suit in the United States over one of its articles in more than 50 years. Yes. Well, now you have. Now you have. Now you have. And Trump has something to say about the New York Times. Let's see.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the question. Deliberate attacks on civilian infrastructure violate the Geneva Conventions and international law.
Who are you with?
I'm with the New York Times. Zolan from the New York Times. Are you
The failing.
Are you
concerned? Circulation way down at the New York Times.
Are
What's
you
going
concerned
on?
that your threat to bomb power plants and bridges amount to
No, not at
crimes?
all. No, I'm not. I hope I don't have to do it. But again, I just said 47 years they've been negotiating with these people. They're great negotiators, and because they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And if somebody that takes my place someday is weak and ineffective, which possibly that will happen because we had numerous presidents that were weak, ineffective, and afraid of Iran.
Hi, Pet Rescue.
We're never going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And if you think it's okay for people that are sick of mind, that are tough, smart, and sick, really sick, from a policy standpoint, from a any which way you want to say, mentally, these are disturbed people. If you think I'm going to allow them, and powerful and rich, to have a nuclear weapon, you can tell your friends at the New York Times, not going to happen.
That means violating international law.
Quiet. You no longer have credibility at the New York Times, because the New York Times said, oh, Trump won't win the election, and I won in a landslide. I won every swing state. New York Times said, oh, Trump won't win the election. New York Times has no credibility. The credibility they have is it used to be all the news that's fit to print. The old gray lady, it was great, but they're running on past fumes, and you can't keep doing that. You have to be able to give the correct news. And people like you, who I know, are fake. You're
fake. You're fake. That's what Trump says. You're fake. What's up, Bill Vick? Thanks for being here. Pet Rescue, great to have you. No one will ever be like Trump. That's right. They never came to Alex's defense. They never apologized for Charlie, and their dearly beloved gun-free zone, et cetera, times 10 million. That's right. That's right. Power plants and bridges are legally military targets, supply and production. Yeah, that's what I say. But that's the thing, too. Trump has got to like either do it or stop. You can't keep threatening to do it and not do it. It makes them go, oh, he's just lying. He's not going to do it. Why should we fear him? He's just talking shit. He's not going to do it. So if you say you're going to do something, you got to do it. That's the bottom line. Don't say you're going to do something and not do it. Don't do it. I like seeing Trump sue ABC and CBS and getting them to pay for his library. That was awesome. Our country is sick. I think that's what he's saying. Mm-hmm. I would vote for Trump a fourth time. Yeah, I would. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love how honest Trump is. He has no problem putting them all on blast. You love it. Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, we got a rant. Let's see what the rant is. We got a rant. Hey, look at this from Jennifer. B-Job Secure says, please join lights, camera, citation after Jim's tells you on Rumble. Well, okay. We'll probably send a raid over there when I end. And for the 5, thank you. Definitely do that. Send a raid over. And thank you for the 5. And with that, that means now we are just 69, dude. 69 away from adding a first additional hour, and just $19 away from Bellavision. So, man, we are under $20 for Bellavision, man. We're almost there. We're getting there. Thank you. Bomb the IRGC into oblivion, need no one behind to negotiate. That's the way I look at it. Yes, that's definitely the way I look at it. I mean, you can't. You gotta make a decision. You gotta either do it or don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I really need to get one of those Trump 2028 flags and fly it out of the house. There you go. Trump 2028. Yes. I'd time them out permanently. Okay. Well, if you want next time he comes in, if you want to go ahead and time him up permanently, go ahead. I just it's for where I'm at. It does a 30-minute timeout. Wonder why Trump pushed hard for Lady Graham. I don't know. Maybe he thinks that she's going to vote with him, that she's going to, I don't know. Maybe the other options were like not tenable. I don't know. Yeah, shit or get off the pot, like my grandpa always used to tell me. That's right. In the Sandy Hook tragedy murders, there was no money to recoup from the dead mother. Nobody wanted to sue the school system. The only money was to go after Infowars. Yeah. I think they did try. To sue some gun companies, but I don't know if it went anywhere. Suing Alex wasn't about the money; it was about shutting him up, making him disappear. Yeah, I'll agree. I agree. So they lost their defamation suit to the basketball player. So that's a good thing. We could say that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing, right? And another good thing is that Trump's ballroom can continue. The work on the ballroom can continue. Lady Graham immediately called out Thune for the Save America Act. I think she got the memo in a good way. Yeah. The Uvalde people are trying to sue Daniel Defense. Yeah, I don't. I mean, that's the whole thing. They sued Remington, who made the Bushmaster rifle. Oh, that's right. They did sue Remington, right? I think, didn't Remington settle with them or something? Is that the one? Remington did something like they settled? Yes, we got this first deportees land in Haiti. Yes, we have that. But I'll put it over there just on the side in case we don't make it there. Guess we don't make it there. So work on the ballroom can continue. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts rules. We need slap theory. That's right. We need to send them all to the Slap-a-Ho Nation. Oh, here he is. So Trump inspects the helipad and talk. Oh, well, let's see. I like to hear Trump talk. Don't you like to hear Trump talk?
Of the eagle's head. This is the eagle exact of the, you look how fine that's cut. When you see it, you won't even believe it. And from the air, it looks so beautiful. But this is the back of the piece, and they flip it and they put it down. So nobody will see that unless in 400, 500 years, they start taking it apart. So probably nobody will see it, I guess. Actually, I hope nobody ever sees it because there's only one reason they'd see it. But I think I'd like to sign it, and I'd like to have some of the main construction guys like yourselves and some of your top guys sign it. We can sign this whole piece. Then we're going to put the coins. These are special coins we had. And we're going to put the coins along with it. We may put a couple facing up in some area where you have concrete that's wet. I don't know if you have any of those areas. I'm not sure that you have some right there for us. But you could put one of these into the concrete facing up so people see it, because you're not going to find nice. So they're going to take some of these coins, which are somewhat different. These are coins that, like I gave to the young man the lifeguard who saved the young boy, because he was truly a hero. And these will go like that. These are 3 different coins, all different. Like that.
Stop, Kofi.
Like that. They're going to be flipped.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Doesn't he, Doc? Trump always includes the regular guys. That's the thing. He's always been there with construction projects and stuff. He was always on the job sites talking to people. He was not one of these people who was always just in the office. Like, he did the office stuff, but he would go on a job site. He would talk to the people that were actually doing the work and see if there was problems. Like, how's it going? Yeah. Because he always knew it's the guys actually doing the work that matter. Special coins, the best coins, the nicest, hardest concrete. Yes. It's always Trump is the best.
But I think they're so beautiful that if we find a place on this whole big pad, we could put a few of them facing upward, right? It'd be pretty cool, right? I'm going to ask some of my people to sign this also. I know I'm supposed to sign it, but they've done such a good job. It's such an exciting project. You know, it's a no-story building, but it's as exciting as if you're building a building. And again, they've wanted this for many, many years. The happiest people are the pilots, as great as they are. They say it's great not to be landing on wood or on a piece of steel that they put out for 10 minutes. They literally put it out and then take it away as soon, and it was very heavy, and they take it away. They don't have to do that anymore. Okay. I hope this is a good one. This had better be a good one, even though in theory, I don't know if anyone's ever going to see it again. That's a beautiful cut. Hey, maybe we should reverse it. Let it stay up. I like it better than what's on the other. That's pretty great, huh? Oh, that's good. That looks pretty good. I think we should use this side. We're using the wrong side. We're flipping it. What do you think? Can we use this? Is that good? I'll tell you what. That's good. Come on, Brett, sign this. Anywhere you want. Better be under my name now. I'll put it under your name.
Better be under my name. Don't put over your name over my name.
Talented guy. Jared, come on. Can
you imagine having dinner with Trump, and it'd have to be at McDonald's because he loves McDonald's? Can you imagine eating McDonald's with Trump? That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Clark Construction, head of Clark.
Now, I'll say I had some jobs with Clark Construction. I didn't like them. They were a bunch of jerk offs, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I didn't get along with them. There were always problems. Did not like them at all. Clark Construction. Ugh. Now, W.E. O'Neill was great to work for. Walsh, McHugh. I'd say work for, but I mean, that was the general contracts and stuff, the people running the job. And Power Construction was really good too, but I did not like Clark at all.
Come on over here, man. Come on, get your long-term port. We have to get your long-term employees. Come on, Dad, get over here. Come on over here. That's not fancy. That looks.
I think Asmongold would have to be more worried about the Chinese kidnapping them like they've been doing to people going over there. They kidnap Americans. They say they're there as spies and stuff, and they lock them up. I wouldn't go to China. Not in a million fucking years, man. Not happening. Not happening at all.
Like Don Trump Jr. He gives a line. I say, you can't do that. Okay. I'd like to have a couple of the guys in the military. Where are they? What's the best? Come on over. Get over.
Get over here. Sign this. Let's go.
Even though your work has been totally exposed now because of a stupid lawsuit. These are the military people. They've been unbelievable. That's the strongest structure I think ever put up. That structure is
the strongest structure ever
because it's needed for bad purpose. It's really bad purpose because they have to ever use it. But if you look at that, those are called shear walls, and they're of the greatest strength concrete. And the steel goes in, but that keeps all the steel from twisting and turning. Normally, you'd never use a thing like that, but for purposes of the drone port and everything else, we needed it. Come on over here, Todd. Get over here. You think you're going to get away? He's been thin. This guy's fantastic.
Yep. Everything is the best.
Dale's around. Huh? Well, we'll do it later. But. So it's very exciting. Very exciting. And I think we'll be here for a long time. This will be here long after we're gone. No matter what happens with the world, this is not moving.
It's not moving. That's right. That's not moving. Good evening, everyone from the Houston area. That's right. Not that, Karen. Tell all the communists that us anti-communists are coming to get them. That's right. Dems complain that Trump stiffed contractors and family. He made big prenup agreements with his wives. Actually, Ivana was a business contract. Trump fights to make sure things are done right. That's correct. That's all he does. He wants it done right. He wants it done right. That's it. They are using similar concrete from nuclear power plants. You can't break it up. Yep. Yeah. Very high PSI concrete. Probably like 80,000, 90,000 PSI concrete. Maybe later, if you haven't got to it, or Snake tried to entrap Data Republican. Oh, wow. Oh, I haven't seen that. I'll look at it. I will look at it. He looks slimmer. I wonder if he's got a bulletproof vest. I don't know. Like they do make jackets. They have material that it's very, very good at stopping bullets, called Spectre Shield, that they make jackets and clothing out of. Like, you know, like have you ever seen the John Wick movie, the tailor with the jacket? Like they actually have clothing like that. It's super expensive, super hard to work with, but I'm sure he probably has jackets and stuff made out of Spectre Shield. I remember during the election, they went to Trump Tower to try to get Trump and said he was a bad employer, and everyone said Trump was amazing. He gave us money for Christmas. Yeah. I've heard Trump is president to negotiate or wipe out the IRGC. There you go. Yeah. Juan Wick. Yeah, Juan Wick. That's right. Hey, what's up, Cree Dog? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by.
This will take any kind of shot, but it's something we really needed badly for the helicopters. But we get a secondary use, and that's we can have some beautiful events here, including the greeting of people from foreign countries. They'll be very impressed. Right now, they're not impressed when they see coming in on asphalt, and they're not impressed. It's never very impressive. But they're going to go the opposite.
What is your plan if the Supreme Court rules against that?
Well, we hope that doesn't happen. I can't imagine it happening. The lawsuit the person had no standing. It was a person that said she walked along and she didn't like the view, even though nothing was built. A person that didn't like it and never even saw a rendering of it. We've gotten tremendous architectural reviews. It's beautiful. The woman has absolutely no standing, according to virtually according to every analyst that I've seen, legal analyst. And it's a lawsuit that should have never been even allowed to be brought. But hopefully we'll do very well with it. We had a great ruling from a very highly respected judge, as you know, and hopefully the Supreme Court will agree with that ruling.
Okay, yes. So the dance goes on for President Trump's ballroom. Work on the massive structure can't continue. The Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts ruled Friday, hours before the court order to stop construction would have taken effect. The military ballroom complex being built on hallowed grounds of the White House, which is so vital for national security, will be the greatest of its kind. It's something that presidents have wanted for 150 years. The military has been seeking for the last 100 years. Their wish will soon be fulfilled. Yeah, I mean, they're knocking this out. They're going to get it done. The reprieve allows the $400 million building to continue as the High Court molds the administration's emergency plea for intervention. Last week, he asked the Supreme Court to suspend the decision by the D.C. Court of Appeals that would have halted the project. Roberts' ruling doesn't address the legality of the ballroom plan. It's not up to them. It's really not. This whole thing is not something that should be in the courts at all, which two lower courts have said is unlawful due to lack of congressional approval. He has approval to do renovations, upgrades, repairs, all the stuff. It's already in the statutes that he can do all the stuff. He doesn't give his rationale for allowing the work to proceed in a one-sentence order. Yeah, so what? That just means great. John Sauer, arguing for the administration, told the Supreme Court the plea for relief that the renovations are absolutely required and should not be enjoined because any delay threatens the president's safety and because of the recent assassination plots against him. He also pointed out that it's already 65% complete and moving quickly towards completion, which would render the court fight moot. The National Trust for Historic Preservation, which sounds like it's a government organization, but it's not. It's not a government organization, sued to stop the work, arguing the president doesn't have the power over construction of such a large project. The administration has argued that the nonprofit doesn't have standing to sue to challenge the ballroom, which they don't. They have no standing. Sauer's brief revealed previously unknown details about the ballroom, including the 250-person crew is working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week to rush its completion. The concrete and steel superstructure extends 5 stories deep, which I don't think they should have told that, how deep it was going, and 70 feet high, occupies 90,000 square feet. The project includes bomb shelters, state-of-the-art hospital, medical facilities, protective partitioning between all areas of the building, top secret military structures and equipment, military-grade venting, and a single integrated air conditioning and heating system, sniper nest, and a drone port. Shipwreck crew has a take on this, claims this likely means the court has 5 votes and would normally make an order, but one of the liberals is delaying the final order for the dissent. Oh, well, it's possible. Possible. The materials used in the construction are meant to stop bombs, rockets, and missiles, and even nuclear blasts. If she has standing here, why wouldn't I have standing to sue to take down Obama's ugly library? Yeah, right? Yeah. You know, it started off as a ballroom, and before we started work, the military came and they said, sir, we have an opportunity to do something incredible here. We've been trying to do it for 100 years. We've never had an opportunity. The president told reporters earlier this week while giving them a tour of the South Lawn helipad. So I had to make that decision. I said, look, go ahead, design what you want. And that goes down 5 stories. You know, it goes down almost 65 feet. What's in that? Well, I'm not allowed to discuss that, but a lot of very detailed stuff. I would think it would go, if to be safe from a nuclear blast, I would think you would have to be at least 100 feet down or more. I would think. But I don't know. What do I know? So that's why bringing the lawsuit was unfortunate, because most people didn't know what was going on underneath. It's true. It's true. So, and then CBS just says the Supreme Court temporarily allows White House ballroom construction to continue. You know, they temporarily allowed the issue to stay that will remain in place until the Supreme Court takes further action.
And we have some breaking news for you. The Supreme Court has entered a brief stay in President Trump's White House ballroom construction case.
That means that the bill can continue as the justices decide how they will handle the legal challenges it faces moving forward. The court did not make a decision on the underlying legal issues, which includes a challenge to the $400 million project, which, as you'll recall, was started without congressional approval. CBS News chief.
Why do you say that? What do you mean? Is it not in the law that gives the president the authority to make improvements, renovations, repairs? It's in there. Other presidents have done this numerous times.
Legal correspondent Jan Crawford joins us now with more legal context. So, Jan, this pauses the lower court's injunction that was going to pause the construction tonight. So what does all of this mean?
You know, what they did within the last few minutes is a really common procedural way that courts can just kind of preserve the status quo and keep things in place while they're deciding how they're going to handle some kind of emergency request, which is this case. As you mentioned, they had that looming deadline of midnight tonight when a lower court injunction that would have just blocked the ballroom project, the above ground part of it completely, that was going to take effect. That would obviously have then stopped the construction. So the Supreme Court, in a very short turnaround, they only had a few short days to consider all the briefing, decided.
I thought CBS was supposed to be less biased too after Barry Weiss took over, but it seems like they went right back. It was like 2 weeks where they were good, and now they're right back to their same shit. Congress already approved of presidents maintaining the White House, you propagandist hacks. Yes, the presidents have all the authority to do all this stuff. They don't have to go running to Congress like, hey, a pipe burst, or we're going to do this. Leftists do this shit all the time, just outrunning the courts and do shit before they can tell them no. Yes. Only Trump would have the balls on the right to do the same. Yeah, but I don't think he's doing anything wrong with it. I really don't. Roberts has low T. Yeah. Probably has a low T cell count too. That's completely different, if you know what I'm saying. I got that post, Rob. I got it.
Did with the Chief Justice acting on behalf of the court to enter this kind of brief pause so they could kind of take a look at the case, decide how they're going to handle it as they move forward. But as you said, we cannot read anything into this. There's no clues. It doesn't tell us how the court's ultimately going to resolve this issue. For example, the lower court, which ended up ruling against President Trump and the ballroom, entered the same kind of brief stay when it was deciding how to handle these kind of legal issues. So this is a very common procedural move, and it means that now the justices will have some time to make a more reasoned decision on how they want to handle this case. And if they're going to agree with the lower court decision and block this project, or if they are going to say that the Trump administration and President Trump specifically has the authority to continue the project.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, Coney. I'm sorry, you're right. I should have never made that disgusting joke about John Roberts having AIDS. He probably just has HIV. It means the ballroom is going to get built. Yes, it does. It's AIDS, not vid. Yes. There we disagree, but okay. Well, I know they said that there's stuff that looks like HIV in the COVID, so I don't know. Like somebody took something from HIV and put it into COVID. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Yeah, countersue the fine it's fine from a catwalker. Yeah.
So, Jen, you mentioned that it's a common procedural move, and it feels like it's becoming more of a common move. In the past, oftentimes stays or injunctions would be issued so that things would stop. In this case, it's allowing construction to continue. So what happens now, and what happens ultimately if a decision's made after the construction project is mostly done?
So that's a really great point, Lana, because it does seem to be happening more now because the Trump administration has got a lot more emergency appeals going throughout the courts.
Well, why would the Trump administration have more emergency appeals? Why would that be happening? Is it because lower courts are not fucking staying in their lane? They're overstepping their bounds. They're infringing on co-equal branches of government, which they're actually not even a co-equal branch of government. Lower courts are not the co-equal branch. The Supreme Court is the co-equal branch. The lower courts are creatures of statute. They're creatures of Congress. They're controlled by Congress. So they cannot be equal to Congress when Congress can disband them and just get rid of them. So there is only one Supreme Court, and that is the co-equal branch. Listen, oh, you're disobeying the judicial branch, the co-equal branch. No. That's the Supreme Court. All these lower courts are created by Congress. So they're subservient to Congress. So they're not equal to shit, and they're not supposed to be telling other branches of government what to do when they're not even a branch of government. They're just like a little subservient branch of a branch. Is that reporter in white really nipped out on national news? Who approved that? Yeah, well. So what's the option? Leave it mid-construction, never finish it? Well, that's what certain Democrats would do. My friend's husband has COVID, and now she dies too. They've been very sick. Oh, my God. That's terrible. It has the same spike protein. COVID and HIV seem to be the same protein out of 32 kinds. Looks same, but they're not going to tell you that. Roberts proves over and over that he wants the judiciary to be out of control like this. Yeah, it seems like it. Does not die. Okay, does not die. All right. I need to go to sleep. I'm sorry. I was like, oh my God, I hope I didn't offend anybody. Sorry to hear that, Karen. COVID got my brother. Yeah. Because Cobra is real. Yes, Cobra is real. Where's Cobra Commander? Could you imagine if we had a Republican Congress with a spine that told Roberts to either clean up the courts or they would abolish them? They were created for the Supreme Court's convenience. Yes, to take the load off, as they say, the Supreme Court. Take the load off, Manny. Take the load for free. Take the load off, Manny, and put you right on me.
System. People are challenging things that the Trump administration is trying to do, and then they're filing emergency briefs saying, no, we should be able to do that. So the courts are really bearing the brunt of all this kind of urgency that both sides are saying they have to decide these cases with. This, again, like I said, is this common way of trying to kind of just put things on pause, slow things down, and let's decide it. But just like the lower court entered the same kind of pause when it was trying to decide how it was going to handle these issues, and they came out against Trump, this court could do the same thing, this brief pause, and make a completely different decision. It doesn't tell us anything. It's just a way of saying, let's take a breath for a minute and make a more reasoned decision. Now, when we get to the merits, that's going to be the big deal. When the Supreme Court does issue, and I don't think we'll get anything before next week at the soonest, when they do decide how they're going to handle this, that will then set the tone for how the construction can or cannot continue. The lower courts in this case said, no, Trump has no authority to do this. You've got to stop the construction. You can finish the underground security facilities, but no above ground stuff, nothing.
Why would it be okay to do the stuff underground, but not above ground? Lady, where does this mind of yours come from? That, he can do whatever underground that no one can see because this fucking crazy dog walker lady somehow has the right to tell the president what the fuck she can do on White House grounds? Are you serious? Are you serious? Wow. I guess we should have all sued when Joe Biden put the fucking trans flag lights and all the shit on and said, no, you can't do that. That offends me. And had a lawsuit to keep him from doing it. I guess we should have. We could have that authority. According to these people, we should have that authority. The courts created the crisis by being activists and not jurists. Yeah, that's right. 100%. COVID finished off my dad who's been bedridden in our home. I caught it and practically lost my sense of smell. Well,
Trump administration is saying that itself raises national security concerns, and we need to be able to do this ballroom, and we have the authority to do it. So that's what we're waiting on, that decision from the court, whether Trump can build this ballroom, that's what we're talking about, or whether the lower court rulings will stay in place more permanently and will stop this project.
And Jan, this will strike many as a win, at least temporarily, for the administration, if not a definitive win, at least a temporary one. And honestly, as you pointed out, it's a mess. Right now, it is an open construction site at the White House.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Will ultimately rule on this case, or if they're going to ultimately kick it back to the lower court to make the decision. And when do we expect any of this to be resolved?
Right. Well, so what we have now is this kind of these are preliminary issues. And the lower court granted this kind of emergency injunction to stop this construction now, right? That's where we are. And now the court has put that on pause while they decide how they're going to handle it. But, what this means going forward is, sure, I mean, if the court rules against the Trump administration, then that would be potentially the end of this ballroom project. Now, there are other, or if they rule for the Trump administration, that means construction can continue like it is right now, and like it's been, going on now for quite some time. But there are other ways. Other people could try to challenge the ballroom. I don't think this would be the end of.
Like there's other ways. There's other people can challenge it. So they're already plotting. There's some other people that are in other ways. They're going to try to stop it. Really. Remember the Stallone movie Cobra, where the slime thought they were brave warriors by the end, even the police were in on it? Yes, I remember it. Crime is a disease, and I'm the cure. Awesome movie. What about the trans woman man with the fake breast who was playing topless with the White House? Yeah, we should have been able to sue her for that. Okay, Karens. That's right, Chloe. Okay. The left wants to be a thorn in Trump's side. Yep. Anything that rat bastards will do, anything will just aggravate us and the president. That's right. Yeah. End of ballroom, basketball court approved. Yeah. Reporter looked disgusted, nipples protruding in her white shirt before America. Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. How far our country fell during that horrible administration. Thank God for sensible normalcy being back. That's right. I'd like to know the statistics of the people that have died from COVID that have also been vaccinated at least one time or had multiple boosters. Would be interesting to know. Good way to cripple a show. Yeah, that's what, we'll look at that. I think that's the same. You posted the same link twice, Gundam, just so you know. That was the same link twice. I think maybe you had a different link you were intending to post, and it was the same one twice. Any good news? Yeah, well, this is good news right here. The Supreme Court said Trump could keep building a ballroom. That's good news.
All the legal challenges. Perhaps there are other organizations that could try to file a lawsuit. Perhaps there are different arguments that they could make trying to attack, for example, the funding and how the funding is going for this ballroom.
The funding came from private people. It was privately funded, except for the money for all the stuff below ground, which Congress approved. Congress approved the money for the below ground stuff and said that they're not going to pay for anything for the ballroom itself. But they approved the money for the drone port. They approved the money for that because everything on the inside of the ballroom was being privately funded. Congress basically approved this. It was passed. They funded all the stuff below grounds. They funded the drone port on top. But they said we're not going to give any money for the stuff that's being privately funded because it's privately funded.
So a win for the Trump administration ultimately from the Supreme Court, which, as to your question, I think would not happen before the next week, 2, maybe 3, who knows. That would be very significant, but it wouldn't necessarily mean the end of any kind of legal efforts to stop this project. I think you're going to try to see some people come up with some pretty creative.
Yeah, see people come up with some pretty creative ways to try and stop it. Maybe allowed to be a bit of a bitch. Sure, go ahead. What do you got to say? What you got to say? Say what you got to say. How is the border wall going? Well, I don't know what's going on with the border wall. We have homeless balls that need a room too, you know? Okay. Yeah. What about all the ball dancers, the ballroom dancers? They have nowhere to dance. They're all dancing on the streets. They need a place where they can be safe to dance. We will never know the true numbers of those that died with COVID. If you tested positive and had a heart attack, it was COVID. Yeah. These people wouldn't tell the truth if their lives depended on it. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They suck.
Legal arguments. They're not going to give up that easily.
Oh, like she knows. It's almost like she knows. It's almost like she has an inside track, like someone told her. Oh, wow. Wow. It's almost like someone told her. Wow. So Trump just said we're grateful for the decision. The military ballroom complex is going to keep being built. And the White House has full constitutional control over federal property and the funding and its maintenance and development. In the absence of any express authorization that grants Trump the ability to construct a ballroom. Yeah, whatever. So, the appeals court upheld it, whatever. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be fine. All right, we're jumping to the next story now. The next story. Ronald Reagan, 81-89, exterior interior repairs oversaw General Paris, the exterior sandstone, modernized the private living quarter. There you go. Yeah. There you go. George H.W. Bush, recreation, installed a horseshoe pit, upgraded the White House gym facilities, added a paid quarter-mile jogging track. Yeah, all that stuff was fine, right? Obama put in a basketball court. I think Bill Clinton put in, a medical chair with stirrups and exam light so he could give free gyno exams to all his interns. You know, they called him Dr. Feelgood. They classified a woman in Las Vegas dying of COVID from a gunshot wound, refused to change it when they were called out. Yeah. They were instructed to turn sensitivity tests up to 87%. I'm old enough to remember when the news was the news, not opinion. Yeah. Clinton built a whorehouse. Yeah. Oh, what you feeling to be dancing on the ceiling? Yes. Yeah, Bill Clinton, room restoration. He renovated, restored the authenticity to the East Room, the Blue Room, and the State Dining Room, upgraded critical infrastructure. Yes, and then they stole all the fucking china and silverware and had to give it back. Yeah, the Clintons tried to steal all and other furniture and shit and had to be forced to give it back. What CBS should be looking into is the train to nowhere in California. Yeah, we got. That's right. We got. The news has never been nothing but opinion. Yeah, well, it is. So check this out. Trump says Michael Cohen was weaponized by the mainstream media in a surprise radio reunion. That's right. Trump and Michael Cohen sat down for a talk. Or I don't know. I mean, Trump was on his radio show or something. Colorado had a guy die of COVID with a BAC of 0.54. That's crazy. The myth of unbiased journalism is a modern fiction. It is. You forgot about the Lincoln Gladiatorial Arena under the White House, too. He didn't free all the slaves. That's right. Yeah, he had a pit down there. What they called it, Mandingo fighting. Lincoln was a huge fan of Mandingo fighting. He had one of his very best friends was a guy by the name of, what was his name? Candy. And he had a place called Candyland where they did all this stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Until one slave got real crazy and broke out. His name was Django. And he ended up killing a bunch of people because the guy who bought him and freed him, this dentist named Dutch Schultz, I think his name was, or something like that. Or yeah, it's a crazy story. I heard Tarantino's going to make a movie out of it. Yeah, and George W. Bush, security, heavily upgraded post 9/11 systems, blast-resistant windows, situation room fully gutted and renovated. Clinton needs to build a humidor. He had to resort to strange ways of keeping his cigars moist. Yes. They did the situation room in 2006. Yeah. The White House is basically the current president's house. He may do with it what he wants. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They try to call him, he's just a tenant. It's like, no, he's not a tenant. Obama did infrastructure, oversaw major multi-million-dollar overhaul of heating, ventilation, air conditioning, high-efficient lighting systems. Yeah. Yeah. He got rid of, yeah. The D is silent, Jim. Damn it. Okay. I knew I did something wrong. Trump needs to change the word from the word ballroom to conference room. Yeah. Yeah, he converted the South Lawn tennis court to a basketball court, kitchen garden. Michelle Obama planted vegetables. Trump better not trust Cohen ever again, but it was nice that you forgave him. Why the hell does Cohen have a radio show? Well, you know, somebody did. Do you believe the Gore Vidal theory that Lincoln was gay? I don't know. I don't know. Then Trump, in his first term, they did a Rose Garden. They redesigned a Rose Garden and restored a classic 70s Kennedy-era landscape, added a pavilion and a small tennis court. They did a refresh of the Situation Room under Biden and performed behind-the-scenes infrastructure along with routine maintenance. Situation Room commissioned a modern refresh of the Situation Room. So interview marks the first public exchange between Trump and his former lawyer nearly a decade after Cohen became one of the president's harshest critics. Someone put in a bowling alley. Yeah, I don't know if that was Eisenhower or Ford or Nixon, but somebody put in a bowling alley.
Do you remember, sir, when I went on CNN with Breonna Keeler and she told me that you were underwater in the polls, and I responded with those famous two words, "says who," which became some worldwide meme.
And good advocate, and then they weaponized you like nobody's ever been weaponized, like few have been.
Well, maybe just you and I, sir.
And you, yeah, me too. But I don't consider mine. You know, mine was at a level that nobody's ever seen before. But they weaponized you. They weaponized a lot of people, and I respect the fact that you recanted everything you said, and that's a big thing that you did. That's a very big thing.
It's a very big thing, yeah. Michael Cohen revealed that he would be conducting a 2-part interview with President Trump on Thursday. Well, that's good. I mean, is it good? I don't know. During an unexpected interview with his former lawyer turned bitter enemy, Trump said that his ally was weaponized against him by the media. The first part of a 2-part interview with Trump on his radio show recounted the 2016 interview with Breonna Keeler, which we just heard. Thank you for allowing me to bitch. I'm so sick of that shit. Yeah, I know. So, and then they weaponize you like nobody's ever been weaponized, like few have been. Well, maybe just you and me, sir. Well, yeah, me too, but mine went at a level that nobody's seen before, but they weaponize you. They weaponize a lot of people. Oh, look at Tay weaponized a lot of people, and I respect the fact that you recanted everything. Cohen remembered the morning after the interview when Trump told him, F them, you're stronger than them. We got this. So now the funny thing is CNN never apologized. They never retracted anything. Years later, CNN, MS Now, the other left-leaning outlets are doing the same exact thing, constantly talking about you being underwater with favorability numbers. Trump and Cohen continued to criticize the media polls later in the interview. The polls are crooked, so the reporters know that, and they know they're crooked. They've got some good ones, but for the most part, if you read the New York Times, it's so dishonest. You read these things, and they say you're not doing well. You look at the reason they're not doing well, and it's because they've lost all credibility. Lincoln loved cockfighting. That's what I heard, but only when the Mandingos did it. That's what I heard. Now you got a great journalist, but you got great reporters. Many people are very, very good. I could name them, but by naming them, I'll leave some out. Franklin Roosevelt built the first indoor swimming pool. It was installed in the West Terrace between the main house and the West Wing to help FDR with physical therapy. And Nixon covered the pool to build the James S. Brady briefing room. The empty pool structure is still intact underneath the floor. What are you crying about, fella? What's wrong? What are you crying about? What's wrong, girl? So Cohen told Fox News the conversation lasted 40 minutes, will be aired in 2 parts. The man was a key witness in 2 cases brought against Trump, and he penned a Substack detailing the stunning reunion. That was their first public conversation in nearly a decade. That's good. You need to go outside, or what's going on? I don't know. I might have to take this dog out. I don't understand. I took her out right before the show. Truman put in the first bowling alley, and Nixon installed 2 single lanes. Okay. Nixon installed 2 single lanes. Okay. All right. CBS just says the same thing. Trump and Michael Cohen set aside their turbulent history. Trump tells Michael Cohen they weaponized you in a radio interview, praises his recanting. Michael Cohen calls Trump the boss in soft interview as felonious frenemy plans to call DOJ tomorrow about pardon. Did Trump say he's going to pardon him? Oh. Nixon, I can't type. I figured it out. So, the judges have no power or jurisdiction on the White House. Glad Roberts bothered to get out of the room he shares with his boyfriend to do something. Could be. So is Trump going to pardon him? Ugh. Trump's notorious former fixer made nice with the president as he sought a pardon for evading taxes, calling Trump boss and reminiscing about the old days. Maybe you should have a press conference to pull out all the accomplishments. Ugh. I don't know. Cohen served prison time after admitting he concealed $4 million in income from the IRS and lied to a bank to get a $500,000 loan, as well as pleading guilty to campaign finance violation for his role in providing the hush money payments to 2 women in the 2016 election. Like, he should have just shut his fucking mouth. Like, honestly. I mean, look at all this stuff. Honestly, here's the thing. Look at all the shit happening with Act Blue, them pleading the fifth. Fauci pleading the fifth. All the time, anytime, Lois Lerner. Anytime a Democrat gets called for anything, they plead the fifth. Republicans plead the fucking fifth then. Don't say shit. You can't believe the polls say Talrico's had a Paxton. I don't believe it at all. I don't believe it at all. Those are the same polls that said that Beto was going to beat Cruz by like 10 points, though. So he needs a pardon to resume his legal career. I don't know. It's up to Trump. Whatever. I think Bill Clinton installed the first stripper pole at the White House, but I cannot confirm. It's possible. It's possible. So the ex-lawyer later testified against Trump in the Manhattan trial by Alvin Bragg. Cohen began returning to Trump's good graces as he aligned the president's claims that he was subjected to a Democrat witch hunt. which is true. Everybody knows that. I don't like this Trump and that asshole on a call. Did Trump forget the issues this dickhead caused? Like, yeah, a lot of issues. Clinton installed a stripper pole in the Oval Office. Yeah, poles are crap. Yes, they are. Trump said told Cohen during the interview, I respect the fact that you recanted everything. It's very big. He said earlier this year that Cohen said earlier this year he felt pressured and coerced to act against Trump by Bragg and Tish James. So Cohen's actually actively seeking a presidential pardon. He told CNN in a promotional interview he plans to call the Justice Department to ensure they're processing his application. You can see the perverted glint in their eye. Yeah. I have not received any acknowledgement that they have the application, which is on my to-do list. I intend to call tomorrow. But I did send it by FedEx, so I have a receipt. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I must say, I don't really, I don't know. It's up to Trump if he wants to do it. But if I was him, I'd make him wait until like the last couple months of like right before you leave office. I wouldn't give it to him right away. I wouldn't. All right, listen, I'm going to have to take the dog out. Cohen got on the stand and said terrible things about Trump. I'd tell him, you did the crime, now do the time. Yeah. I mean, maybe pardon him on your way out when you're done. Like after the election, after J.D. Vance wins. Don't do it now. Don't do it now. Do it like the Democrats do. Do it right on the end, on your way out. Do it like that. But I think I'm going to have to take this dog out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the cooking video for you guys. I don't know if maybe people, I don't think many people saw it because only had 90 views. So I will play this video for everybody while I take the dog out, which I should be back before it stops. Can you hear her crying? I can hear her crying. Here we go. It's my biltong cooking video. Please enjoy and check out these things I created just for you. It's for everybody. Well, look at this. We got a nice ribeye from King of Biltong, USA. We got some fried chicken quarters. We're gonna make these. We're gonna make this Boer Wars. We're gonna cook this up and make some good stuff. All right, here we are outside. Here's the Traeger grill. It says it's at $3.99. So let's get crack-a-lackin' and put this stuff on. What do you say, huh? Get some good food going. All right, so there it is on the grill. The sausage, the Boer Wars, some ribeye, and some chicken quarters. We're gonna cook this up. See, there's my yard. I'll tell you guys here's my Blackstone grill that I don't use anymore because it's a pain in the ass to clean. Here's all my pineapples. There's my canal. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh. Ah, very nice, huh? Nice dock. Oh, there it goes. It's been on about 10 minutes. Cooking up a star. I'm going to flip it over. See what's happening now. Alright. Let's see here. Let's get this sausage. Flip the sausages over. Oh, yeah, look at that. They're cooking. Cooking up a storm there with sausages. Yeah. Look at the sausage. Oh, looking good. See what the steak looks like. Oh yeah, steak is cooking up good. See what's up with the chicken. Look at the chicken. Chicken's gonna take a little while longer than the steak and the sausage, I think, but we'll see. We'll see. Back in a few minutes. So let's see here. We'll take a walk. There's my pool. Oh yeah. Over here to the Traeger now. Let's see where we're at. Oh, look at that steak looks like it needs to be flipped now. That sausage is coming along nice. The chicken looks good. Oh man, let's see. Smells great. Let's see here. Whoa. All right, wow. that steak be done in a couple minutes. Like 3-4 minutes more on that steak. Oh, that sausage is getting there, man. Oh, it's squirting juices everywhere, that sausage, yeah. Chicken's coming along nice and too. Let me move this over here, put this chicken over there, I think. Yeah, so I'll put the chicken back there. Let that chicken cook. The chicken pieces are a little bigger than the steak, so it'll take a little longer. All right, I think the steak has got to be done. I don't want to overcook it. Got a lot of juices still coming out, but man, I don't want to overcook the steak and wreck it. That's for sure. I would say that's done. This chicken's going to take a little while longer. Sausage a little more. Let's see, so the sausage looks good, the chicken's coming along good. I think that steak's done. I'll pull the steak off, let the sausage go a little longer. I'll check the sausage temp in a second. Okay, so the steak was at 148 degrees, so that's actually a little more than medium, but it should be good. The sausage says 158, so I think that sausage is probably good, 160. The chicken is 120, 130. That chicken's going to take a while longer to cook. So, yeah, I think it's going to take a while. So
I'm back.
I think the sausage might be done.
Look, chat while I'm gone. Have my auto pen marked now.
Yeah. Say the sausage is done. I'll take the sausage off. The chicken's going to be a while. So here's the finished product, the steak and the sausage, which looks great. The chicken is still cooking, and unfortunately my phone is overheating, so there's some rice-a-roni. Look at that. Yummy. Yeah, so this is what we're going to have for dinner, plus the chicken when it's done. So this will be the end of the video. Thank you all so much. Enjoy. Yay. The chicken, it looks pretty good. I couldn't really record any other videos because my phone is overheating, but there it is. Looks great.
There you go. There you go. Looks great. All right. There you go. So let's get back to this. Let's get back to the news. What do you say? Thanks, everybody. Did I miss anything while I was gone? Any rants or any ads or nothing? No rants, no ads, no nothing. All right. All right. Let's get a San Francisco treat. Yes, I like it. I like rice-a-roni. All right. The next story here we have Iran vows a devastating response to Trump's sanction threats. How good was each meal? It was really good. It was really good. The food was really good. It was really good.
New this morning in the Middle East, Iran vowing devastating responses to any new threats by the U.S. The Trump administration undeterred, promising crushing economic warfare in the days ahead. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says it will be the greatest coordinated economic isolation in the history of the world. News Nation international correspondent Robert Sherman is live for us in Doha. So, Robert, Secretary Bessent promising more details on all of this come Monday.
But he's given some hints as to what exactly this will look like. The same goes for the president as well, saying that what this is going to take is collective economic action, namely cutting off trade with Iran, as Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent issued this warning to other countries to go along with the United States' plan. Here's what he said.
We are going to all of our allies, and this is going to be the greatest coordinated economic isolation in the history of the world. If you insist on doing business with them, then the U.S. Treasury and the U.S. government, they will put its full might and force toward enforcing against you.
The Treasury Secretary saying you're either with us or against us. Of course, that naval blockade stopping ships from going in or out of Iranian ports, that remains in effect here as the Pentagon and the U.S. have been trying to move a select number of ships along the coast of Oman through the Strait of Hormuz to try and rebalance oil markets as much as possible. Iran's parliament speaker, their lead negotiator, saying this today, quote, "We will not allow individuals to come and trample on our dignity and honor and then leave. We are willing to sacrifice our wealth and possessions on this path, and we will stand firm to defend our dignity and honor." Something else to make note of, the Treasury Department has taken new economic actions, sanctions coming down, targeting Hezbollah, saying that they've been moving cash in between proxies and other designated groups around the region here. But something that is notable about all of this, Kelly, is that the Treasury Department reclassifying Hezbollah from a terrorist organization formally as a proxy of Iran. Again, another means of trying to tighten its grip around the Iranian regime, and going after proxies is a part of that strategy here. Kelly?
Yeah, it appears so. All right, Robert Sherman. Robert, thank you. We welcome in now retired U.S. Navy pilot Captain Armin Kurdian. Good to have you, sir. Thank you for being here. So the USS George Washington, it is now relieving the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Middle East. This is after reports of morale concerns on board the Lincoln. We've talked about this in the past. Is there a stated timeline for how long this crew is going to stay? We know the length of stay was a big issue.
Wow, look at this. We got two right here. Joe says, got too much work to do. Help Jim do another hour so I can get my blood pressure high and Jim doesn't go to sleep early. So rally with me. Well, thank you. With that 5, folks, that means we are now just 64 away from adding a first additional hour and 14 away from Bellavision. Well, thank you. And then we got another 5 from Nathan Danner. Did you see Joe Kent tell Viva that we should abandon all military bases in the Middle East in order to defeat Iran? Well, that doesn't make any sense. That would be surrendering. But thank you for the 5, Nathan. That makes 0 sense whatsoever. That would be surrendering to Iran. Wow. And so with that right there, folks, we're now just 59 away from adding a first additional hour and just $9 away from Bellavision. Well, thank you so much, Nathan. And then I believe we got 10 from America First. Thank you. So that means Bellavision is activated. There's Bella. Oh, she's got her bed all straighten it out. Get it straighten and get Bellavision on there. Get her fixed up. There we go. There she is, just chilling. Thank you. And that means, folks, we are now just $49 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much to everybody who donated. It's greatly appreciated. Bella just walked to go get water now. What do you know? Now I got to move the camera. There she's getting a drink of water. So thank you to everybody who's donating. What's it say? China would take up the slack. Get closer to Bella and the first hour. Well, thank you. I believe. What's going on? What is happening? With that 5, and that means we are now just 44 away from our first hour. Thank you. And then we got from Jonathan Marcus, I stand with Joe V. Thank you. That means we are now just 39 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. Then we got a gifted membership from Karen Mannings. Thank you so much. That means we are now just $33 away. $33 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see who got that membership over here. It says that Ron Martin became a member of the JimSomniacs. Thank you, Karen Mannings, for bringing Ron Martin into the JimSomniacs. Thank you so much. Oh. So we got 36 minutes left until goal expires, and we got $33 to go. I think we can make it. I really do. I really think we can make it. I really do. All right. Then 10 joules from Karen Mannings. Thank you for the 10 joules. That's only 10 cents, though. I can't really adjust that on the thing, but I appreciate it. Gas prices will probably be high for a long time. Probably. Good afternoon, Charvon. Thanks for having me here. Congratulations to Ron Martin on the gifted membership. Yes.
For that Lincoln crew and the morale concerns sprang from that deployment. When you consider also that the Washington was already deployed when this transfer happened.
Good morning, Kelly. Well, the George Washington is based in 7th Fleet. They're based out of Japan, and they are permanently deployed overseas. They're basically like the Navy's 911 force, so they can respond to global conflicts wherever they are. They always stay in a much higher state of readiness than, say, the other carriers that we have that are based here in the United States. So I don't know that the George Washington will necessarily stay for too long. They're basically a stopgap, and they'll probably try to backfill them with another strike group coming from the West Coast or the.
Well, there's a reason why diesel prices are higher. All right. Diesel prices are getting really high because there's not enough diesel being made. Diesel was actually being exported from the Middle East to go to China and other places, getting transferred around. And the U.S., we're now selling diesel. The U.S. is selling diesel to other places. That is causing an issue that diesel prices are now going up because of that reason. So if the U.S. had actually built a few, more refineries, we wouldn't be having these diesel issues. So look at this. Scrappy comes in for 10 for the next hour. Thank you, Scrappy. Wow, with Scrappy's 10, that means we're now just 23 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. Then we got 250 joules. Thank you so much for the clapping seal. I think what we're going to do is, since somebody gave 10 earlier, that's 260. I think we could just go and say we'll make it $20. $20 away now. $20 away from a first additional hour. Thank you. And then $5 more from Rob. That means right now we're just $15 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you. I only have 1 hour, so give me some more news. Okay, well, I'm doing the best I can. Thanks for supporting the show. We should sell no fuel to anyone of any sort. Fuck equality. Yeah, no. If the U.S., but that's the price you pay for having oil traded on dollars, on U.S., the petrodollar, is that it's all on a global market. So the U.S. has to put its stuff on the market also. You can't just keep our stuff here.
East Coast as necessary for an extended period of time, because you also want the GW to be available in case something happens in the Pacific region, in the South China Sea or something like that. So I expect them to be there for a little while, but probably, again, not too long and replaced by somebody else.
All right. And because of that preparedness, how long do
It almost sounds like we don't have enough aircraft carriers. Like maybe we need another 5, 6, 8, 10 aircraft carriers. I don't know. Like maybe this whole thing of basically, getting the bare minimum amount of aircraft carriers and stuff like that. That's like, it's not a good idea. I paid $3.49 for gas, but if you pay cash, you can get it for $3.29. Well, there you go. There you go. That's not bad.
you believe the Washington can hold position before resources and morale concerns maybe potentially become a concern?
Any carrier at that state of readiness, which is, it's tracked by the Navy and the military and the Pentagon in terms of the types of missions they can do, how long they can sustain combat operations, fuel, flight hours, all of that matters, sea time. They could stay out there for a very long period of time. They could theoretically stay out there as long as the Lincoln did as well. But I think that the Pentagon is going to try and not to do that and make sure that they have more folks coming in on station. Certainly some issues, have arisen, such as, the Washington was in an extended maintenance, midlife for much longer than was planned. And when that happens, it has sort of a cascading impact on future strike group deployments. So that's something the Navy's trying to get their hands around in terms of, you're refueling the ships, the nuclear reactor, maintenance, repair, upgrades, new systems, new software, all this stuff requires checkout. It's a very complex piece of...
Yeah, it's very complex. Very complex. Very complex. So Iran said Friday its response to any new U.S. threat would be devastating. Oh, okay. They vowed to further defeat the U.S. Oh, okay. Well, you haven't defeated us at all yet. I don't think so. So Scott Bessent said the toughest measures, the toughest sanctions in history are coming. that they got a blockade and things are going to get worse. So, and this is what's happening in Iran right now. Leaked audio shows that Iran's besieged brace for new protests and fear being named online. So the Iranians and people that are basically cracking down on it, they're afraid. They're afraid that their names are going to be leaked. $5.30 is the cheapest on regular, $6 most expensive South Carolina fraud jet. Yes. Trump wants all air-based launch EMP will fup the electric ones. Oh, you're talking about on the carriers? Yeah, he wants to go back to steam cats, but per Google, there are 128 gasoline refineries operating with additional 2 sitting idle. Well, we need diesel refineries is the problem. Diesel refineries. We have 379 cash in the communist empire of tax me to death, Connecticut. Wow. So officials of Iran's besieged militia can be heard on a leaked recording weighing the risk of a new round of protests and the danger that members will be identified online. Nimitz got a 1+ year reprieve from the knacker's yard. Not sure if she's heading in as a reserve or will deploy again. I mean, kind of sounds like we need more aircraft carriers. We shouldn't be putting anything away yet. Scrappy for another 10 says getting close to the next hour. Thank you so much, Scrappy. That means we're now just 5 away, folks. Just 5 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. It's actually $6 away, but it is what it is. We have the infamous Newsom tax. So the audio recording of a closed meeting of the media and cyberspace headquarters in Pakdash, Tehran. Officials discuss new demonstrations, online identification of besieged members, and plans to track anti-government activity. You make me happy, Scrappy. To be honest, we need to keep the Nimitz from the breakers for the next 10 years at least. Probably. It's not shouldn't be putting any aircraft carriers to the breakers. The old Enterprise is already too far gone. Yeah, they shouldn't have probably scrapped anything until the replacements were already out. We really need 20 aircraft carriers. We really do. The credit card processing fees will have to be spread out through product pricing. What does that mean? Oh, they are locking up credit card processing fees in Louisiana. Pay cash to get one price. Use a credit card, charge a fee, and they're going to force all purchases to be price listed with the fees. Okay, now I get that. Okay. I love how people complain about gas prices, but if we get murdered by a nuclear blast, that's secondary. Well, your sailor's still bitching about toilet paper. Listen, you guys know what military toilet paper feels like, right? I mean, there's a saying. There's a saying in the Navy: shit, shower, shave. In that order. You shit, you shower, you shave. You use the toilet paper to get the chunks off, and then you go in the shower to wash yourself. Sorry. The toilet paper is 1-ply garbage. That don't do nothing. So I know the super lengthened construction time for the Ford is one reason, but all Nimitz class slated for 55+ year careers. Yeah, they were supposed to be. Bunkmate's tongue. Oh, that's gross. No. I'm not complaining about gas prices, but I think the manufacturers are screwing us. Try MRETP. The stuff we got in the Navy was no better unless you bought your own. You'd have to go buy your own. But the stuff they supplied was just Scott tissue, 1-ply. You always carry TP in my ruck. Yeah, you got to bring your own. Like I always bought my own and had it. But you can beat the world, you can't beat the war. We can move the mountains and displace rocks. Yeah. The meeting was held amid recent developments, including the killing of Hamradreza Hatablarshan, a Bajist member, government-aligned religious singer. The media and headquarters are made up of cyber personnel and government supporters. The concerns raised at the meeting echoed recent remarks from this commander, Ibrahim Garbage Mari, who said the government opponents were using sanctions, infiltration, and social media to target the Islamic Republic's governing structure. Yes, John Wayne's toilet paper, rough, tough, and don't take shit off nobody. Yeah. So earlier this week, Iran's Supreme Burrito appointed Hossein Tayyib, a veteran intelligence officer, to lead the besieged paramilitary forces, giving the former protest crackdown figure a mandate to expand the paramilitary forces, grassroots intelligence network, and use of new technologies. Yes. Karen says USA gas is cheap. Try $9 a gallon in Germany. $9 a gallon in Germany. That's a lot of money. That's expensive. That's crazy expensive. That's crazy expensive. $9 a gallon. That's nuts. Wow. That's nuts. And oh wow, look at this.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. Communism is the very definition of failure.
Well, thank you so much, Sylvie, for the 5. That means, folks, we are now just, I didn't even have it up. We are now just $100 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. We don't die from an Iranian. We won't die from an Iranian nuke. Their Trinity site will be Tel Aviv. Then all the non-proliferation goes out the window with it. Yeah. Sailors in OEF receive differential pay for living conditions. Marines found to be 5 stars, and U.S. Army folk were comfortable with. Do I even need to say Air Force? No. I can't take the stress, so here's $5. The Navy is building a newer, modern dry dock in Bremerton, Washington, spending $30 billion. They're also upgrading the power at the docks to service the Ford carrier's higher power requirements. Wow. Yeah, $30 billion. I got that. $2 per gallon is cheap. Yes. Gas is 9 cents per gallon in Libya. Well, there you go. That's good. Good to know uncontrolled variables. We should go to Libya to fill up then. That's right, B-Job. Ooh, you're welcome. Yes. What did Gundam say? No thanks. Did you already cover the Carmelo Anthony evidence for premeditated murder? Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. That he had. Well, Bella moved again. There's all types of text messages and stuff, and he was basically like he wasn't a good boy, as they said. He was a regular old dindu. He didn't do nothing, they said, but he did do a lot of stuff. That's what he does do. I will go to Libya and buy gas and resell it here in the United States. So participants in the meeting raised concerns about mounting social and psychological pressure on government-aligned forces. How does it not earn him a first-degree murder charge? I don't know. You don't want to try MRETP. No, you don't. You don't. So a participant identified as Mr. Shabazi. She was referring to MRE shit sheets. Yes, I know. So said the tensions had not subsided. A significant part of the discussion was focused on security breaches and exposure of besieged personnel. Well, why would they be worried about being identified to their countrymen? I don't know. So they blamed social media for the unrest. They blocked Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp, and it's only increased public anger. Foreign intelligence services, including Mossad, were exploiting economic hardships to recruit young people and obtain information. The meeting also included participants described as a top secret directive instructing cyber personnel to monitor platforms, including Instagram, and document protest-related anti-government activity. Oh, well. It told them to send screenshots through the Iranian messaging app, IETA, along with identifying information. So I wonder if anybody's hacked this IETA, the Iranian messaging app. Toward the end of the meeting, PAG-dashed cyber official warned of the possibility of widespread violent protests in the future, including over increases in fuel prices. He said that the next unrest, even people who did not own vehicles could take to the streets because of accumulated anger. I guess, they're going to have to, if they want to be free, they're going to have to free themselves. You know, if they say, free your mind, your ass will follow. Iranian state television sparked widespread criticism after saying southern Iran will be sacrificed for southern Lebanon while dismissing criticism over damage caused by recent strikes. So they accused the government opponents of displaying false concern for Iran. Iran state broadcaster said her comments had been taken out of context. She accused critics who called for Trump's help, now claiming concern for southern Iran. These posts of patriotism saying our hearts ache for southern Iran. So I don't know. I guess this is.
برای اونایی که بارها ادعای این رو می‌کردن و درخواست و طلب کمک ترامپ فکر می‌کنم چی عنوانش کنم حق مطلب ادا بشه ترامپ نحس رو شاید اینجوری بگیم بهتر باشه مطالبه میکنن ازش که بیا کمک‌های خودت رو برای ایران عزیز ما بیار و حالا ادعای وطن دوستی و جنوب دوستی و هر چیزی شبیه این رو در صفحات مجازی خودشون انتشار میدن. دل ما برای جنوب سوخت. جنوب ایران فدای جنوب لبنان. یادتون باشه و فراموش نکنین اینا همون هایی هستن که در 9 اسفند ماه وقتی خبر کشته شدن و شهادت 168 دانش آموز مظلوم میناب منتشر شد هلهله سر دادن و شادی کردن و به خیابان ها اومدن و تصاویر خودشون رو در رسانه ها منتشر کردن.
Interesting. So, and then Trump says it's great that the UAE pulled out of OPEC. Could be better, maybe. What did she say? Well, there was subtitles. The subtitles are too small. What is she saying? She just said that she's sorry that people didn't understand it. She was just joking. That's what she said. She was just joking. President Trump says he supports the UAE's decision to leave OPEC. He says he believes the move will bring down energy prices. This was from Wednesday. He says he supports the UAE's decision to leave OPEC. And he says it will bring down energy prices. I think it's great. The UAE's president, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, is very smart, and he probably wants to go his own way. That's a good thing. So I think ultimately it's a good thing for getting gas prices down. Oil prices have spiraled upward since the attack on February 28th. So in a surprise announcement on Tuesday, they said it was end its association with the group on May 1st. Hey, what the fuck is this? This is an old ass story, dude. Why did someone give me it? You can't give me stories that are 4 months old. Utah anti-ICE group members praise call to be a hero and shoot Trump in a Discord report. Screenshots of a Discord group chat belonging to the anti-ICE People of Provo Against ICE group showed members of the group praising, be a hero, shoot Trump, according to a report in the Cougar Chronicle. So there was a shooting in Provo. Remember, there was a guy, there was anti-ICE stuff. It was like, or something, or was it there was some kind of protest there, and a driver got shot by people in a crowd in Provo. Screenshots of the messages showed Postal Service package stamps emblazoned with the phrase, be a hero, shoot Trump. This is crazy. It's crazy that people say this stuff. Leaked messages from the People of Provo Against ICE Discord server. Well, those aren't stamps. Those are just stickers. Members call the stickers cool and sick AF. Wow. In this welcome room, new members were being invited to assist writing messages on United States Postal Service stickers. Yeah, DM me your address so I can give you some. That's pretty stupid. What? Leaked messages show them. The chat was a welcome room where people would get invited to assist in the anti-ICE activism. The group, which links its Discord group on its Instagram page. Like, I would think this would be a violation. I would think it's a violation of Discord's terms of service. but it's okay for jihadists to lie. Nah, that's Takia. That's Takia, Tia. That's what that is. Many posts show that they rail against ICE and call for anti-ICE rallies. Stupid Discord. You ain't kidding. Multiple people from Instagram page are also collaborative in the post. Like, I don't know. How is this not a violation of Meta? Meta owns Instagram. Meta has like really weird rules about stuff. Like I've been blacklisted on Meta and like had been locked out of my account, suspended for just talking about news stories. They're working to stop ICE activity in Provo, Utah. Utah really has a commie problem. I don't know. Probably most are Antifa. Yeah, they have a commie Antifa problem in Utah. They really do. They really do. At least the French are starting to make some changes. The French have, French police attacked by illegals as they intercept inflatable boat trying to cross the channel. I think this is nuts. For years now, the UK has been paying France for help against the small boat invasion. So far, the work by French authorities have left much to be desired. Yesterday, a police operation targeted the launch of one of these water taxis and left many hoping this marks a new, tougher enforcement era on the channel. But by no means will it be an easy task, as the footage captures the moments the police officers are attacked by the migrants as they intercept the launch of a migrant boat. So look.
Dramatic pictures of French police being attacked by migrants attempting to cross the English Channel. In the confrontation on a beach in northern France, migrants wearing life jackets threw stones at officers to try to keep them away from their dinghy. The French police responded by using pava spray, similar to pepper spray, before slashing the inflatable boat with a knife. The video, released by the UK's Border Security Command, is intended to show police patrolling France's northern beaches getting tougher against illegal crossings. The Home Office claims 185 small boat crossings have been prevented and 4,300 migrants stopped from reaching the UK in 3 months since a new UK-France deal was signed in April. Launches stopped, boats, engines and life jackets seized, and smugglers arrested. The Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, says the deal is already
The Home
having
Secretary,
a real
Shabana
impact.
Mahmood. What does that tell you?
Crossings before they happen and disrupting criminal gangs. But the Conservative Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp, who said he was shot at by the French Navy in the Channel last month, says the Home Secretary's claims are a joke. He claims Channel crossing preventions are down by half over the past year. And French police, he says, are instructed not to intervene when migrants attempt to cross. And in a Sky News poll this week, 41% said the problem will be better solved by standing up to France.
That's right.
With 35% who favoured
Stand up to
cooperating
France.
more closely.
That's right. Stand up to them. They suck. That's what you got to do. You got to stand up to them. They're no good. No good, dirty rat bastards. That's right. Yeah, just here you go. Use a knife on a boat. There you go. Just an easy way to fix it. Easy way to fix it. So, the truth about illegal immigration. I investigate what actually happened.
Through it. Can we get like closer to the shore? Can you see that? It's a beach buggy racing along over there. There is an illegal migrant embarkation. We think in progress as we speak.
Wow, cool documentary on YouTube. Wow. So this guy does this stuff. So the border authorities claim this evidence is a new bold approach trying to stop the boats. Yeah, just use like a pin. You just need like a pin. They could just get like a gun that shoots darts, like a jart, and just like poke a hole in the boat, and then they can't come. Just tell them, do not come. And then at the same time, you got Iran's president says it's time to end the war, while Tehran is in a position of strength. The French people are revolting, and they also sometimes attempt to overthrow the government. Yes. Yeah, I saw this appeals court saying and stuff. It's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. So the Iranian president, Pezeshkian, said on August 21st, it's time to end the war with the United States because Tehran appears to be in a stronger position than Washington. Like, is this guy delusional? So Tehran's keeping the key Strait of Hormuz partially shut, and Washington is persisting with the naval counter blockade. It's better that we bring the war to an end now as we are in a position of power and dignity. What? The whole world acknowledges our victory and emphasizes that America has attacked our schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. But what is going on here? This guy's like in fucking La La Land, delusion world. So he defended the memorandum of understanding aimed at ending the war, claiming it did not signal a defeat for Tehran. They cannot find even a single clause in the agreement that indicates capitulation. All the commitments concern the other side. Like, I don't know. This makes me wonder why we're not bombing the shit out of him some more. His remarks come weeks after the Supreme Burrito said he approved the deal to end the war. Hardline lawmakers in Iran's parliament have criticized the government over the deal, accusing it of giving concessions to the U.S. Does that mean the IRGC will take over soon? Yeah, I don't know. According to the U.S. media, American Navy has been organized in protecting secret convoys of tankers through the southern sector, enabling between 5 and 10 million barrels a day of oil to be exported. As Tehran claimed to be in a stronger position, the U.S. said it would ramp up sanctions to heap pressure on Tehran. The American plan drew condemnation from Iran's foreign ministry, accusing the U.S. of economic terrorism. The perpetrators and instigators of these sanctions are deserving of trial and punishment for committing such heinous crimes. Washington would collapse the Iranian regime with its threatened campaign nearly 6 months since the war began. That's what Besson said. So the comments underscore how the Trump administration is shifting to economic rather than military pressure. China also criticized Washington's plan, saying the U.S. sanction and pressure would not resolve the Middle East conflict. So I guess China wants us to just bomb the shit out of them some more. I guess that's what we should do. Scott Besson, this is going to be the greatest coordinated economic isolation in the history of the world.
Oil markets are misinterpreting what this economic pressure means. The economic pressure means that we are going to all of our allies, and this is going to be the greatest coordinated economic isolation in the history of the world. And we are going to them and saying, you are either with us or against us. You want this murderous regime to end. And if you insist on the doing business with them, either transferring money, buying their oil, they're doing seaborne ship transfers, then the U.S. Treasury and the U.S. government, they will put its full might and force toward enforcing against you. So it is time for our allies and the rest of the world to make a decision, and we are going to squash the economy of this murderous regime, which that will curtail their ability to project power through their proxies. It will mean that they cannot pay the military, and we have substantial inflation, both food inflation and ordinary inflation in Iran. And what we have seen, I see lots of reports that said, "Oh, well, this has never worked." It does work because we have a combination. It is a 1-2 punch. We have the blockade, and we are going to have the toughest sanctions in history. And I will tell you, this will work. It worked in Venezuela once we put up the blockade. It is working in Cuba right now, and it is going to work in Iran, and we are going to collapse this regime.
We're going to collapse the regime. Oh, okay. I guess that's what's going to happen. They're going to collapse the regime. I guess that's what they're going to do. So Trump says no one has given them a greater opportunity to make a deal, and tragically, they're just retards, and they won't take the deal. So China, it wants this to end quickly because China has basically had to pull everything back and cut back on a bunch of stuff because they just don't have the energy to do it. They just don't. So this is about the economic D-Day stuff. So that's good. I hope they do it. I hope they do it. And here's some more good news for you guys. You guys want good news? Here it is. The first flight of deportees lands in Haiti after Trump ends TPS status, the temporary protected status for hundreds of thousands of Haitians. That's right. Still waiting for the Iranian people to rise up and claim what they had in the 70s. Guess those people are gone. Supposedly they're still there. Supposedly they're still there. Collapse. It's like those boats. Collapse it like those boats. There you go. China really needs that Iranian oil. It's pretty clear that Beijing is not in the driver's seat. Yeah. IRGC are 12ers, and I don't mean the NFL fans. Yes, no, I know. They're the 12th Imam. They believe that the 12th Imam will come and, the earth will blah, blah, blah. Basically, end of times, Hey, look at, they're all going back. The first plane carrying more than 160 deportees to Haiti touched down in Cap Hachon. Enjoy your flight snacks, dirt cookies. There you go. They need to send them back in votes. It marks the first large-scale removal of Haitian nationals following the Trump administration's successful efforts to terminate TPS for 350,000 Haitians who have been living and working and stealing your jobs, taking your money, living off our tax dollars and robbing us and chopping people up with machetes too. The deportation flight from Miami, Florida brought 161 Haitians on Thursday, while rights groups press Haiti to prepare for return of more than 300,000. Good. The flight, which originated in Alexandria, Louisiana, stopped in Miami before arriving in Haiti, was the first deportation operation to the Caribbean nation since 2023 and follows the Supreme Court's late June decision clearing the way for the policy change. Au revoir, mes amis. Yes, Trump made a deal to bring cheap beef to the U.S. That's right. He made a deal to bring cheap beef. He lowered the tariffs and stuff on beefs coming in. Yeah. We'll see about that. It's in there. So many on the deportees wore white clothing and covered their faces when they arrived, claiming they fear the gang violence that controls 70% of Port-au-Prince and large areas beyond the capital. The main international airport in Port-au-Prince is still too dangerous for commercial flights. America has a ban in place through early September, so Cap Haitian was used as a landing point. Haitian migration officials offer the returnees up to $65 along with food and water and promise temporary housing for those unable to reach their destination immediately. They're back to a great place, according to those on the left. That's right. Remember, they did all that stuff. That what was it? The fucking idiot from late Conan O'Brien and even Bill Maher and Susan Sarandon and all of them had shirts that said, "Oh, Haiti's great. Haiti's always been great." Yeah. They could have just opened the door without touching down. Would have been quicker. Yeah, would have been. You never heard of the dirt cookies? Look into it. Look at Haitian dirt cookies. They sell dirt. They create dirt cookies. They make dirt and water and make these things and bake them in the sun and then sell them. Yeah. Yeah, they eat dirt cookies. So Haitian officials, so TPS status was first granted in 2010 after an earthquake. Yeah, all these Haitian rocket scientists are going to make Haiti a better place. Yes, totally. After the Supreme Court ruled the government's favor, a judge in Washington formally lifted the remaining roadblocks. Some of the deportees, including individuals who had completed prison sentences in the United States. You don't say. They completed prison sentences in the United States. Huh. So they weren't like doctors and lawyers and scientists. One of the returnee told the AP that he left Haiti at age 5 and had family in New York and claimed he was deported without further questioning after serving a 19-year prison term for unspecified crimes. Oh, so this is your crybaby cry story, your sob story is a guy who spent 19 years in prison in New York. So it must have been some pretty heinous shit. Then ICE came and took me without questioning me. They just sent me here. Yeah, well, adios. Au revoir, amigos. Want to see the greatness of Haiti? Go to Cité du Soleil. Great place. The flight's expected to be the first of many. I hope so. I hope it's the first of many thousands. Thousands. ICE begins repatriating Biden's Haitians. Oh, Biden, here's your Haitians. Wait, what? Dirt cookies are real? Yes. 100%. Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay, we're going to do this.
They look a lot like pancakes or cookies. The recipe passed down from generations here in Haiti. Women spend entire days making them. Grandmothers, daughters, and younger girls. Infants are nursed while mothers work the mix.
All right, I can't. Well, this is on YouTube, so I don't know. All right.
Kids seem to enjoy them, at least when our camera was around. But these patties, known as bonbon terres by the Haitians who eat them,
Bonbon
are a
terres.
grim reminder of just how poor this Caribbean nation is. They aren't sweet, they're hard to swallow, and add almost nothing in terms of nutrition, because the cookies are actually made of dirt.
Yeah, they're just dirt cookies. See, dirt cookies. Reminds me of the mud pies we made as kids. Yeah, but they ate them. Dirt cookies are terrible for your dental enamel. Yeah, horrible. Can't be real if I don't see the recipe all over YouTube and TikTok. Well, it's real. That Star Wars girl probably eats those. I heard she likes to eat dirt. We called those mud pies when I was a kid. Yeah. Another movie recommendation, Poverty Inc. has some info about Haiti and the Clinton Foundation. That would be a good movie to watch maybe sometime. They should have sent about 20 Haitians to Biden's home. Yes. Yes, they are real. Real dirt cookies. Yes, they're real. You guys get it. Yeah. You guys get the point, right?
It fills your stomach.
It fills your stomach, they say. See?
Salt and occasionally sugar are mixed in with the dirt and water as well. Made in places like this, an old fort where torture was once common. And here they are drying. You see, they just dry them in the sun and then sell them to people. Court, soccer field, and school for hundreds of kids and home to many.
They just make the dirt cookies, and that's what they survive on. Yep. That's what they survive on. So, yep, was real, 100%. From the dust you came, the dust you shall return. My favorite influencers aren't eating them. Yeah, well, a little rice and hopefully a banana. Yeah. Eating dirt means your body's lacking certain nutrients. Yeah. Not anyone should have to eat dirt cookies. Right. Not anyone should have to. They want to eat it. They like them. It's a treat. So, deportees were clad in white. The departures of the 161 Haitian leaves roughly 329,000 plus 15 million other illegals left in the United States. They're fucking crazy, 15 million illegals. We know for a fact Biden let in 20 million. There's 100 million. These fucking lying cocksuckers. This is Breitbart claiming there's only 15 million other illegals in the country. Such a fucking joke.
A brain surgeon who spent 15 years teaching at the Harvard Medical School thought he knew something.
The senator from Missouri said the key word is temporary. No, the key word is protection.
I object to this legislation, which once again would extend Haitian temporary protected status. Washington has invented a new definition of temporary. It means permanent. Haitian TPS was supposed to be just 18 months when it began in 2010. 16 years later, 350,000 Haitians are still here. Today, after the Supreme Court cleared the way for President Trump to end TPS and send them home, Democrats are trying to change the law to keep the 350,000 Haitians here permanently. Not on my watch. I rise today to block the bill and also do something else, to make clear that those supporting this bill have a message for the American people. Your vote doesn't matter. Your community doesn't matter. Your livelihood doesn't matter. They're trying to use Washington's oldest immigration trick, call it temporary, extend it forever, and cash in on a new voter base. The American people voted to end this scam. Washington Democrats are voting to keep it alive and remind you who they think is really in charge.
President, the objection we just heard is exactly why this law to protect Haiti TPS is necessary. And I'm incredibly disappointed in my Republican colleagues for turning their backs on the Haitian TPS community in this dire time. TPS represents America's longstanding commitment to serve as a beacon of hope and refuge for the vulnerable. To honor and to protect Haitian TPS holders is a moral duty. It is also an acknowledgement of the immense contributions TPS holders make to our families, to our neighborhoods. And for years, TPS holders have reliably, patiently, and emphatically offered stability and dignity and security to so many. The senator from Missouri said the key word is temporary. No, the key word is protection.
No, it's not. The key word is temporary. These people suck, man. They suck. They suck. They suck. They suck, man. Kick them out. Kick them all out. That's right. I'm disappointed in the angel of death. Apparently doesn't have your address. Yeah. I wish he had his address. Mm-hmm. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Well, should have his address. Definitely. Markley, whatever his name is. Ed Markey. Yeah, have his address. It's one of my favorite shirts of yours. Well, thank you. Thank you. I wore it just for you. Woosah, blood pressure. Woosah. Oh, when Sally Struthers showed me the starving kids, I sent the money. That's right. How about that? Shocking. Yeah. Maybe they should export dirt cookies. Enough crazy liberals would eat them. Yeah. I guess if you want to prove you really love the Haitians, eat the dirt cookies. Yeah, he should bring them to his house, definitely. I meant his address. I know whose address you meant. I didn't think you meant me. Okay, why did it play an ad now after it said first deportees arrive in Haiti? I want to hear what CBS has to say about it. So they were clad in white. Several deportees plan to travel to Haiti's southern region. A dangerous journey because of gangs. Well, but everyone told me that Haiti was great. That's what they told me. Everyone told me Haiti was awesome. That Haiti was a great place. Remember?
Now, hundreds of thousands of Haitian immigrants are now living in fear as the Trump administration moves to deport them. This morning, Republican Ohio Governor Mike DeWine tells CBS News mass deportations would hurt his state's economy. Camila Montoya-Galvez is in Ohio talking to people at risk.
We've been praying for the best, but now we are facing the worst. As much as
Vilas Dorsonville runs a support center for Haitians here in Springfield, Ohio. He's one of many Haitian immigrants on the verge of losing their legal protections to live and work in the U.S. after a Supreme Court ruling went into effect on Monday, allowing officials to end a federal program called Temporary Protected Status for more than 300,000 Haitians.
It will be a nightmare for us.
Now, sources inside ICE tell CBS News the agency is planning a round of operations targeting Haitian immigrants, starting as soon as this week.
Well, it's a mistake. It's not good for the United States, and it's not.
This guy needs to go back to being the sidekick on Smokey and the Bandit. Remember, Big Daddy, and he would do the thing, and he would swing the thing around, and and he would do the bets from betting Smokey he couldn't get the gas, the beer to Texarkana. Yeah, if it passed Monday and they aren't all gone yet, I know, right? Should be gone, or get them out quick. Get them out quick.
Good for the state of Ohio.
Ohio's Republican Governor Mike DeWine says Haitian immigrants have contributed to the state's economic growth, filling and creating many jobs.
Look, we have a right to control our border. That's not an issue. I think the question really is deporting maybe 1 million, 2 million, whatever the number is going to be. Is that really in our best interest?
Yes.
Is that
yes, it's in our best interest. Why do you think we have crazy fucking inflation? Why housing's all insane? Why is our car insurance through the fucking roof? Because of all the people without insurance and no driver's license keep crashing cars and then just run away and abandon the car and get a new one and fake IDs and stuff, and never do anything. Why is this happening? It's because all the fucking illegals here. That's why. That's why. This guy is fucking nuts. Yes, I voted for every illegal alien. The 80 million people that voted for Trump voted for every fucking illegal to go. Everyone. Not some. Not the worst of the worst. Every illegal alien has to leave. Everyone. That's what we voted for. And that's what I want. That's right. Tell this old fool to go away. Yeah. Yeah. Haitians creating many jobs with fraud. That's right. With fraud. Mm-hmm. Deport. ICE, baby. Yes, definitely.
what we want? I just don't think it's in our national interest to do that.
Well,
In Ohio,
well,
sources tell
we voted
CBS
for
News
it.
the agency plans to deport Haitian immigrants directly back to their home country, where widespread gang violence has fueled a dire humanitarian crisis.
Haiti is hell today.
No. All these people, when Trump said it was a hellhole, a shithole country, everybody said it was great. He's talking about his best interest. Yes, he is. There's a duty to be first and foremost to the American citizens, not some protected shithole country idiots. That's 100% right, Scrappy. 100% right. Wow. Well, so we did go in 2.5 hours. We did hit the goal. So I'm going to restart a new goal on YouTube. Just let everybody know it'll take a second for me to get it going here. For 1 hour on the YouTubes, we'll start a new goal. And right now we are $100 away from adding a second additional hour. Oh, thank you. It's all started, ready to go. That's right. I never liked the Rhino. Nobody does. He's a piece of shit. Every single one. We've been waiting for so long. That's right. Vivek better not be like this asshole. Well, Vivek was asked about it, and he said, no. Temporary is temporary. They have to go. That's what Vivek said when he was asked about it. And they tried to make, oh, my God, he's not going to get, wait, who's not, the Haitians that aren't supposed to vote, that's who he's not going to get their votes? Places in the U.S. are shitholes, too. Yes, they are. There are some places that are shitholes in the U.S. We need to fix those places, not worry about the places that aren't in this country. Says, come on, we have to find pilots, planes. That takes about 3-4 days. How about a few C-5s, exercises the equipment, give pilots flight time, and the crews get trained? How do we lose? Yeah, it works great for me. Vivek is going to import 300,000 more Indians. No more street shitters either. Vivek's going to bring the entire population of Guadalajara to Ohio. Well, not Guadalajara, Bangalore, which isn't any better.
So you'd be sending people back, literally back to hell.
Oh, it's hell now.
They are very scared because they saw what was happening in Minneapolis. And now they're afraid that that same scenario will be happening here in Springfield.
Oh, well.
Faced with the prospect of being deported to crisis-stricken Haiti, some community leaders tell us that Haitians here in Springfield are thinking of going to Canada or other countries around the globe.
Oh, yeah, go.
That is also difficult to do legally.
Oh, it's difficult to do legally. Well, oh well. Oh well. Oh well. So there's one migrant who knows nothing about Haiti because he was coming from the Dominican Republic. That's where he was born. The government would attempt to reunify him with any relatives in Haiti or the Dominican Republic where his mother and father live. Oh, well, if he's from the Dominican Republic, so immigration officials in Haiti offered him $65. Well, here's the thing. If they would have left, all right, and took the government's $2,500 or $3,500 as a free ticket, they would have been rich in Haiti. They would have been like wealthy. There's a lot of Canadian geese to eat in Canada. That's right. I hope they eat them all. Yeah, sneak into Canada. Go ahead. Let them go to Canada. They've had decades. Let them suck off the tit of some other country. That's right. What's up, Dawn? Dark Star says, glad I was able to catch the show. My internet's been bad lately. It's good to see you all. Good to see you too. Self-deport and don't deal with ICE. That's right. And they would have got paid. They would have got money. They would have got paid. They would have got monies. They would have got monies. So, all right. That's enough. I hope they all go. It's time for them all to go. All go. You go now. You go now. All right. Look at this. We got this story here. It says, Sarah Rogers tried to set up Data Republican. She works under Secretary Rubio for public diplomacy. She invited collaboration on Cuba work, then handed over marked hard copy documents under pretense of a leak. The markings were still on them, not crossed out, not sanitized. The trap was still live. Now Rogers is scrambling to call them FOIA redactions and dump the documents herself. Too late. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was an attempt to manufacture a crime and pin it on someone who came in good faith and loves this country. Absolutely disgusting. Wow. This person. I did not name you. You named yourself. Undersecretary These are my text messages and documents. The markings are FOIA redactions, requires even for voluntary disclosure. To prove this isn't a trap, I will happily disclose the documents myself. Look at this stuff. This isn't irrelevant. I have Donnie requested I would be a criminal right now. It's one thing to try and fire me. It's another to rob my children of their mother. So she's a big tobacco lawyer. Yes, she worked for Philip Morris. Wow. Brock says undersecretary's in the wrong here. They try to entrap a mother and wife who happens to be deaf. Give them weapons and send them back. Send them to Ukraine to fight the Norks. Yeah, there you go. Per person, not per family. Yeah, no, I'm saying they offered them a lot of money. A lot of money. They could have got a bunch of money. Could have bought a bunch of money. Oh. Americans are warned of kidnapping, extortion as violent crime grips parts of a tourist spot. Americans made up a third of the country's international arrivals in 2025. What country is this? Sicily vacation turns dramatic as volcano leaves American traveler stranded. Data Republican is on Laura Logan. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. What is this?
Like many travelers this summer, I was very excited for my adventure around Sicily and Italy. I had never been to that particular region.
All right. I don't even want to. I can't stand her voice.
Everything was great. And of course, everything was being shut down. But I guess we figured 2 days.
Your vacation got ruined. Okay, sorry. That's not news. The State Department is warning Americans to steer clear of parts of South America as the country turns. South American country turns violent. So a level 2 advisory for Ecuador. Well, there's been a lot of her voice. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I just couldn't with the voice. I couldn't. In the advisory, officials warn of widespread crime across Ecuador, including murders, assaults, kidnapping, and armed robberies. I mean, what else do they think happens in South America? I mean, if it's not run by Bukele or by the guy in Argentina, Milei, or the new El Tigre in Colombia, it's going to be shit. They need people to come in and actually do the work that needs to be done. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. Definitely. Without that, and what else? There's nothing else. So areas with transnational criminal organizations have much higher rates of violent crime. U.S. citizens and U.S. permanent residents have been victims of kidnapping and extortion. Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. She's a kindergarten teacher with the mentality of her students. It sounds like it. The country sits between Colombia and Peru along the South America's Pacific coast. Oh, look at this. Like, yeah, what are you people doing here? You're sounding like, oh, I'm here on a bike tour and I have to have armed people. So Ecuador is sought by many tourists for its dramatic Andean landscapes and Galapagos Islands. Americans make up Ecuador's largest group of foreign visitors, accounting for roughly a third of international arrivals. Americans warn popular travel routes could carry crime and kidnapping risks. The heightened warnings cover several areas frequented by travelers, including parts of Guayaquil, the coastal province, and Manabi and Santa Elena. Popular destinations as Quito, Cuenca, Galapagos Islands are among those areas designated do not travel. By work, do you mean Disneyland with helicopter rides or infrastructure? Well, I mean, helicopter rides are always preferred. I prefer, whenever given a choice, I prefer helicopter rides. It referenced tourist violence and civil unrest. Most of Ecuador's land is empty and remote, especially outside big towns and cities. Help from local authorities and U.S. government may be limited in remote areas, causing delays. It does look very beautiful. So the advisory follows a series of recent travel warnings by U.S. officials. Yes. Earlier this summer, the U.S. renewed its level 2 exercise increased caution advisory for the Bahamas, For the Bahamas. Wow. The Bahamas. So violent crime, burglaries, and sexual assault and armed robberies in the Bahamas. Show your ID. Proof of citizenship, and if valid, you can vote. That's right. Officials also updated the level 2 caution advisory for Turks and Caicos in July due to assaults and petty crime. I mean, pretty much everywhere is exercise caution, isn't it? This next story is crazy. CNN tried to do a hit job on Aaron Burnett. Aaron Burnett tried to do a hit job on RFK about his cooking show. It was just ridiculous. So RFK torches Aaron Burnett after attempting to discredit affordable meals featured on Maha's new food show. TDS has so debilitated her, he said. He does a show, right? And he's showing people how to cook healthy food that's good for you and it's not super expensive. And they said, this is what each portion, costs per person to make. And they go, oh no, it costs more because that jar of mayonnaise is $12. So you can't say it's only 50 cents worth of mayonnaise. The far left hacks at CNN are so terrified at Make America Healthy Again that they've completely abandoned basic math just to attack RFK. RFK blasted Aaron Burnett after her program aired a ridiculous investigation attempting to discredit the affordable meals featured on Kennedy's new cooking series, The Real Food Show. The Kennedy program, inspired by President Trump's Make America Healthy Again agenda, features chefs preparing nutritious, whole food meals for approximately $5 or less per serving. Per serving. Aren't those the same warnings for cities in USA like New York, Chicago, maybe LA? I would think, honestly, if they were honest about the warnings for places like Chicago, LA, New York, it would be worse. It would be level 3. So, but CNN decided to fact check Kennedy by purchasing full containers of nearly every ingredient, even when the recipe required only a spoonful, and then charging the entire package price to one meal. During Wednesday's episode, CNN correspondent Tom Foreman recreated the show's crispy salmon cakes with apple, wine, white bean, and green salads. The official HHS recipe serves 4 people for approximately $5 per serving using frozen wild salmon, and even less when made with canned salmon. CNN, however, claimed it cost $70 to purchase all the ingredients. Foreman complained that HES priced 1 egg rather than an entire carton, 8 cents worth of red onion rather than a whole onion, and 40 cents worth of avocado mayonnaise rather than the full $11 container. It's like, this is ridiculous. Of course, the remaining eggs, onion, mayonnaise, olive oil, mustard, vinegar, herbs, and other pantry staples do not disappear. They remain available for the next recipe. Like, yeah, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. CNN also disputed the salmon price, saying the network paid more than $24 for what it described as the closest comparable frozen wild-caught sockeye salmon compared with the show's listed price of $8.99. Although the CNN segment acknowledged that HHS uses standard recipe cost methodology, the network nevertheless presented its full grocery store checkout total as the real cost of the meal. Burnett concluded that the segment, without addressing any obvious distinction between the upfront cost of stocking a kitchen and the actual amount of food consumed in a single recipe. I don't know. I don't think canned salmon is healthy. Yeah, I don't know. CNN remakes one affordable meals. It should cost under $5. But what's the real price point?
I'm traveling across America, connecting with renowned chefs to show families how to cook delicious, nutritious meals.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s new reality show pushes healthy, affordable eating with sides of dubious claims about the food industry's science and public wellness.
The dietary guidelines put Fruit Loops at the top of the food pyramid.
But it's also the math that doesn't add up in this cooking class, especially when the secretary and his guest chef whip up crispy salmon cakes with apple, white beans, and green salad.
So the servings of each of these, we asked to keep it under $5.
That's the pitch, and prices fly by, backing the idea of a family-sized meal for a bite-sized budget.
Fresh herbs are key for me.
I am on my way to the store. But when we started buying ingredients used in the show, even going for the lowest prices at a big competitive chain, the cost heated up fast.
25. This was the cheapest frozen wild-caught sockeye salmon we could find, the closest to what they are using.
That doesn't look frozen to me. I think he's lying.
They priced theirs at $8.99. The cheapest we could find, even with the deal from the store, was more than $24. Now, the greens mix, that was about the same cost. So were the eggs on a per egg basis, but that's the trick here because they're only pricing that one egg.
So does he not think people use eggs for other stuff? I mean, this is ridiculous. Everybody has eggs in their house. You have eggs at all times. You use them in all types of stuff. You don't go, oh, I can't make a cake because eggs are $3 a dozen and I need a whole dozen eggs. No, use one egg for a cake or something. Use one egg. I mean, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing here?
Egg out of the carton. And that gets worse with other things. For example, this red onion. They say they only spent 8 cents on this because that's how much they used. Getting the whole onion cost us more than $1. And look at this. This is the avocado mayonnaise. They priced this at 40 cents because they were only using a couple of tablespoons. To buy the whole thing cost us more than $11.
Oh.
They're only pricing parts of it. And grocery stores don't sell things that way.
Oh, but do you just buy stuff and then after you use it, you just throw the rest away? Like, do you throw away the ketchup bottle every time you use ketchup out of the bottle? I mean, come on. Buy canned salmon for Pete's sake. I don't know what, this morons. It's like, I think the scam is, like they said they used 1.5 pounds of salmon. That piece of salmon that he just showed weighed a hell of a lot more than 1.5 pounds that he said he paid $24 for. So that's the scam. They did not buy 1.5 pounds of salmon. That whole salmon fillet was probably 4 or 5 pounds. That was a big piece of salmon.
HHS insists this is standard recipe costing methodology, and they want to help Americans stock up on high-quality ingredients they can use across many meals. In any event, the recipe was not too complicated.
Here we go into the heat.
And it came out at home pretty much like it looks online. But while the show repeatedly says this dish will cost less than $20 to feed a family of 4, just getting all those ingredients into our kitchen cost a whopping $70.50.
I mean, it's just ridiculous, though, that they would do this. Just right. They hate Trump. They hate RFK Jr. just because of it. So if you put a squirt, CNN wants us to incorporate the full package price of every ingredient, regardless of what's used in the recipe. $1 for an onion. I've got a nice bridge to sell you. Yeah. They're trying to mislead the public into thinking everything is unaffordable. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, oh my God. That squeeze mayo is more expensive than a typical jar. Yeah, it is. And you get less. You get a whole big jar of mayonnaise. It's a lot cheaper than a small squeeze bottle. If you put a squirt of ketchup on your burger, would you be surprised if the restaurant charged you for the whole bottle? The Real Food Show uses standard recipe costing. We count what the recipe uses. The rest stays in your kitchen for the next meal and the meals after that. Our goal is simple. Help Americans reclaim their kitchens, cook healthy food without breaking the bank. That's how we make America healthy again. How much did this segment cost? Yeah. Purple onion is a bit more pricey, but a yellow onion is cheap. Well, that's the thing. But if you buy an onion and you can use an onion for 4 or 5 days in a row, like you can chop some onion, put some onion in some tuna. If you want some tuna salad, you want some onion on your hamburger, onion on your hot dog, onion on some pizza. It can be used for more than one thing. You can put onions on your salad. I mean, you spread it out over. You don't use a whole onion, unless you're frying something in onions. Then you would use whole onion, So CNN's supposed expose effectively argued that a tablespoon of mustard costs the same as an entire jar, that one egg should be billed as a dozen. Cheap mayo uses seed oils. Seed oils cause inflammation. Yeah. Well, that's why he said use the avocado mayonnaise, right? I love onions too, yeah. I watched and tried the nutritional yeast. It is great. I have some lovely tomatoes. Want to shake my tree? Okay. So the network's figure may represent the initial checkout total for someone starting with a completely empty kitchen, but it does not represent the amount consumed in the 4-serving meal. Most of those ingredients can be reused across numerous additional dishes. The Kroger app says a jumbo red purple onion is 83 cents. Yeah, and if you only use a quarter of the onion, that's 20 cents, right? Of onion? Oignon. Yeah. Chef Jean-Pierre says, oignon. Get some oignon. Is it easy to make your own mayo? Yeah. Yeah, all food's cool besides most seafoods. Chopped onion can be frozen. So Kennedy has pursued an aggressive MAHA agenda, includes overhauling federal dietary guidelines and combating artificial food additives. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed. Pay attention when you go to a grocery store. Look at all the cereal, the breakfast cereal stuff that's on sale. It's constantly on sale now. Buy one, get one free. They're trying to get it out of the stores because starting, I think January 1st, they have to get all the fake colors out or something like that. So all the food, all the stuff that's made now with the crap colors, they're just trying to dump fast. Get it out. Get it gone. Just saying. So rather than applauding an effort to teach Americans how to cook healthier and reuse pantry items, CNN manufactured a misleading price tag to pretend every bottle, carton, and container must be discarded after a single use. Walla Walla is best onion. That's not a jumbo onion. Yeah. Oh, this is crazy. This is a crazy story. Ex-University of Kentucky cheerleader Laken Snelling pleads guilty to killing newborn son found stuffed in trash bag. This is a terrible story. This is a terrible story. Former University of Kentucky cheerleader pled guilty to manslaughter for killing her newborn son, whose lifeless body was found stuffed in a trash bag. This is, God, man. This is bad. After initially pleading not guilty to first-degree manslaughter in April, an emotional Snelling finally admitted to ending her baby's life in a Kentucky courtroom. She's now 22, pled guilty to abuse of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, and concealing the birth of an infant. Like, the cereal aisle is the devil's aisle, that and the candy. Yeah, well. She's gonna do some hard time. She's gonna come out of jail not looking like that, that's for sure. I was under a lot of emotional stress and my baby came unexpectedly. And instead of helping him, I ended his life and afterwards cleaned up and didn't tell anyone. Asked how she ended her life, I deprived them of oxygen. Lexington cops responded to an off-campus home after her horrified roommates discovered the dead boy wrapped in a towel in a black bag stuffed in a closet. Like, this is crazy. Like, how did nobody notice she was pregnant? Oh my. Oh, way back in the 90s when I worked at McD's, our maintenance guy found a baby in the trash. It was alive and survived. Like, you could have done something. You know what I mean? You could have taken, there's plenty of places that you could have taken the baby to, like firehouses, any places you could just take them there and they'll take it. In her room, they found a blood-soaked towel on the floor, a plastic bag containing evidence of childbirth. Asked what she did with the evidence, she confessed to the judge, I put towels in a plastic bag. Her roommates later said they suspected she was hiding a pregnancy. She admitted in court that she didn't tell anyone after she gave birth. Wow. This is horrible. Disposable society. Once we legalized abortion, all human life became disposable. Kentucky medical examiner concluded the baby was born alive and died of asphyxia by undetermined means. In an interview with the police, Snelling, who had been free on a $100,000 bond, initially claimed the baby had fallen on the floor after she gave birth, but didn't think it was breathing her alive. However, her story soon changed. Instead, she had passed out on top of the baby and woke up to find him turning blue and purple. She later told medical staff that the newborn had shown a little bit of fetal movement and made a whimper after being born. Well, pretty sure she has the IQ of a coat hanger. Yeah, she doesn't seem too bright. There's many things you could have did instead of this. Cops said she took several photos while in labor, but deleted them in an attempt to hide the birth. Prosecutors have recommended 10 years for manslaughter and 1 year each for abuse of the corpse and tampering with evidence. Is that enough? 10 years for murdering a baby? Is that enough? I don't think that's enough. Like, honestly, I think maybe There should be some other penalties, like maybe sterilization, so that you can never do this again. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's this next story? Representative Fernandez's bravado at a detention facility quickly debunked by ICE. This lady went to a facility and then tried to claim like a bunch of shit that wasn't true. So Representative Teresa Leger Fernandez shared a video on social media of her visit to a detention facility, but her bravado was quickly debunked by ICE, which exposed Fernandez for failing to follow basic rules. Fernandez shared, "We were here to conduct congressional oversight. It's our constitutional legal duty to make sure that what they're doing here doesn't violate the law. We have heard credible reports of violations of basic sanitation, treatment, how you care for people. I'm concerned because Trump's immigration policy is about corruption, cruelty, and its lack of priorities." The only corruption is what the Democrats were doing. They want to hide. They don't want me to go in. They don't want me to speak to immigrants. We're going to go in. We're going to do our job. We're going to bring it to light. Let's see what this lying person says.
We're here to conduct congressional oversight. It's our constitutional and legal duty to make sure that what they are doing in there doesn't violate the law. We have heard credible reports of violations of basic sanitation, treatment, how you care for the people inside there. I'm concerned because Trump's immigration policy is about corruption, cruelty, and it's a lack of priorities. I'm going to go ask some tough questions. They want to hide. They don't want me to go in. They don't want me to speak to immigrants. We're going to go in and do our job to bring it to life.
I don't think they get to speak to immigrants. So we're glad to host you, Congressman. For those curious, here's what happened. Prior to the visit, she signed a facility visitation agreement form indicating she would abide by all processes and policies governing personnel conduct. One of these policies is that meeting with detainees must be scheduled in advance, both for the privacy of detainees and safety of visitors. Field leadership welcomed the Congresswoman and led a comprehensive tour tailored to the specific needs in the areas that she requested to see: visitor check-in, intake kitchen, food preparation, and medical services. During a tour of the kitchen, she asked to speak with certain detainees in the area and was reminded that without prior consent from detainees, a request could not be accommodated at that time. Instead of accepting the guidance, she began talking and shouting to them from a distance, telling them who she was, and attempting to get closer to them. This disrupted operations and required intervention by facility staff. ICE maintains clear policies about acceptable conduct, just like all the other federal law enforcement agencies do. Those policies were made clear ahead of time. Despite some members' failure to abide by the policies, ICE continues to go above and beyond to keep American people informed about our mission. Like, this is just ridiculous. The Great Emu Warrior says, "We are on our way next summer to take over and deport all the immigrants from America. Everyone will kneel before the Great Emu Empire." Well, you guys did kick ass in Australia, so yeah, so she's a liar. And then she pulled out, "I'm a congresswoman. I'll just start screaming and talking to people." Crazy. Wow. We got a Clancy copycat. North Dakota mom told husband, "Say goodbye to your kids," before killing 3-year-old, 5-month-old, leaving 1-year-old in critical condition. We got another Clancy. So you got all these crazy women out here doing these protests, all the stuff. And you got copycats now because they think like, "Oh, this is great. We could just do this." A mother from Mandan, North Dakota, has been charged with murder and attempted murder of her 3 children, 2 of whom were killed and 1 whom was stabbed, but is expected to make a full recovery. Shocking details were revealed in an affidavit that Kaylee Earhart was seen on video while armed with a pistol, telling her husband, "Say goodbye to your kids." She faces 2 counts of murder, attempted murder, 2 counts of terrorizing with a dangerous weapon. Wow. According to the police documents, officers responded to a report of a mother had stabbed her children. When police entered the home, they confronted her, who was holding a knife up to her own throat. Covered in blood, she told officers to kill her and dropped the blade. After searching the home, the officers found 3 children on a bed with injuries to their necks. The 1-year-old required surgery and survived the ordeal. However, a 5-month-old and 3-year-old were pronounced dead. That's what I'm afraid of. Mothers killing their children when Clancy gets off with the murdering of her 3 children. Well, this is clearly what they want. And that's what these women want. She said she remembered placing the children on the bed after their throats had already been cut. She remembered being confronted by police, didn't remember everything that took place. According to the affidavit, she and her husband were in the process of separating when the incident took place. The father also reported Earhart previously to mental health services and said the mother had threatened to harm herself and the children. She'd also been committed to a mental hospital recently, but was on medication. She was cleared to be with her children at the time of the killings. Who cleared her? Who cleared her? You did this. Who, me? How did I do it? It is. It's sickening. According to People, the 1-year-old son is expected to make a full recovery. The case comes as the massive 2-shits mother, Lindsay Clancy's on trial for the murder of her 3 kids. She admitted to strangling the kids whose ages range from 5 and 8 months old before attempting to kill herself and jumping out of a window, leaving herself paralyzed. Public support for Clancy has been overwhelming as women have donned pink shirts and gathered outside the courthouse to show their advocacy for her not guilty by reason of mental defect plea. Her family has raised over $1 million for their own expenses, and advocates for Clancy say that she needs more mental health and child care support. What? She had a nanny until the birth of her 3rd child when she chose to leave her career in nursing and stay home with the children. Her family and her in-laws lived nearby. Her husband worked from home, and she was in care of multiple doctors who prescribed her medication to aid anxiety and sleeplessness and other concerns. Oh, not you. I can see setting this up exactly for what he said. Yeah, mothers should be, not be. Yeah. Medication is the key word. Yeah. So this is gross, man. It's gross. I think it's gross. Clerk calls on DOJ to help get non-citizens off voter rolls after Secretary of State whistleblower claims Michigan Secretary of State Benson is automatically registering them to vote. This evening, Hastings Charter Township Clerk David Olson released a video of himself pleading with the feds to get involved in Michigan elections, specifically to help him identify and remove non-citizens. Mr. Olson's asking for help from the feds after a whistleblower from Jocelyn Benson's office came forward and told the county sheriff that non-citizens were being placed on the voter rolls and that Secretary of State was doing it automatically. Let's see. Where's the video? There's the video.
It's a beautiful Tuesday morning here in Berry County, Michigan. I'm Sheriff Darleaf. An employee of the Michigan Secretary of State's office reported to me that non-citizens are automatically registered to vote when they change their address. The confidential informant provided evidence that the customer and automotive record system is programmed to congratulate and inform non-citizens that they are registered to vote. When the confidential informant provided proof to her supervisor that non-citizens are automatically registered to vote, the supervisor stated that the county clerk would identify the non-citizenship status. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is not true. The county clerk has given access to the qualified voter roll after the Secretary of State registers a person to vote. The qualified voter roll does not designate a citizenship status. Once a person is registered to vote, they have the ability to receive a mail-in ballot or vote at the poll with their ID card. The polls do not verify citizenship status. My office has referred this matter for investigation to the United States Department of Justice of conspiracy to violate 18 USC 611 and place non-citizens on the qualified voter roll and in the jury pool. Additionally, I am asking the Michigan legislature to use its resources to remedy the illegal voter registration and placement in the jury pool immediately. My office encourages witnesses with additional evidence of non-citizens receiving automatic voter registration to report this evidence to my office or to your local sheriff. You know this is wrong. It's time to act. Have a good day.
Wow. I mean, how could this stuff be going on like this? It shouldn't be going on like this. It shouldn't be. Shouldn't be going on like this. It really shouldn't. I mean, it's crazy. It's really crazy. Really crazy. I can't get it. I don't get it. When is enough enough? When are we going to stop the illegals from voting? Are we going to ever do anything to make sure that this country actually is being run by citizens deciding, like American citizens deciding who's in charge, who's running stuff? We're never going to get there. It's never going to happen. Well, maybe. Maybe it's just the way it's got to be. Maybe we'll never know. Maybe we'll never figure it out. I don't know, man. I don't know. So it's not a glitch. It's built into the software, leaving Michigan's voter rolls wide open. Wow. It's crazy. California City Council candidate arrested on 5 felony counts. Prosecutors say she listed a cocktail lounge as her home. You don't say. You don't say. She's got some broad shoulder muscles there. Traps. Another election fraud scandals erupted in Deep Blue, California. Desiree Lynch, a Democrat-aligned candidate for the Stockton City Council, was arrested Wednesday following a public corruption investigation and charged with 5 felonies involving perjury, false voter registration, and fraudulent candidate paperwork. Well, she still has to pay $1.5 million. $1.5 million was covered. We cover Alex Jones got his money back. Well, they not money, but they lowered it from 50 million to 1.5. So yeah, that's how they do. That's how they do. So it's So her campaign website warns that fairness, decency, freedom, and justice are supposedly under attack at a federal level. According to the San Joaquin County District's Attorney's Office, she registered to vote and filed to run for Council 5 seat using addresses where she did not live. See message. Prosecutors say Lynch used 2 Stockton addresses to manufacture residency inside District 5. Harry's Cocktail Lounge, known as East Martin Luther King Drive, Junior Boulevard, Doyle Garden Apartments. Investigators determined that Lynch was actually living in Lodi and North Stockton, including an area located in the Stockton City Council District 1, not District 5. The criminal complaint contains 3 perjury counts under California Penal Code. The alleged offenses span from November 10th to August 17th. Charges are count 1 perjury, count 2 perjury, count 3 perjury, count 4 causing or procuring, allowing false voter registration. The rest followed a 6-week investigation by the District Attorney's Bureau of Investigations. The program began after San Joaquin County Sheriff's referred the matter following the June primary election. Lynch finished second in that primary, receiving 1,000 votes and advancing to the November runoff against incumbent Councilman Brando Villapueda. So, I bet you that's why. So the guy was worried. So he's like, let's find a way to get rid of her. In other words, more than 1,000 Stockton residents voted to put Lynch in the general election before prosecutors alleged that she never lived in the district she sought to represent. Lynch briefly announced that she was ending her campaign amid mounting questions about her residency. 4 days later, she reversed course, declared that she would remain in the race. She was arrested roughly 24 hours after announcing her return. Her name remains on the November 3rd ballot. San Joaquin District Attorney Ron Freitas does not mince words, accusing Lynch of being an opportunist manufacturing a fake address to cheat the system. Doesn't California have like a massive history of people running in districts they don't live in? Doesn't Maxine Waters like not live in her district? Adam Schiff doesn't live in his district. Adam Schiff doesn't, same thing with Swalwell. All these people they don't live there. They live in Washington. They live other places, but they run it. So Lynch was booked in the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office. Man wielding a sword attacks high school in small Swedish town. 1 dead, several wounded. Suspect in police custody. All of Europe is sick with knife stabbing epidemic, but in Sweden, they're taking things a step further. 1 person has reportedly died and several others were injured after a man armed with a sword attacked a high school in a small city of Fagersta. Wow. Fagersta, central Sweden. Some outlets like the Telegraph describe the blade as a machete, but pictures show a sword. There's also been some confusion regarding the victim. Some say 2, some say 3, but the latest reports say 1 dead, 2 heavily injured. 2 teenagers were seriously wounded after a sword-wielding attacker entered the high school. Suspect posted a photo of the sword. Well, that's a sword, all right. In the school toilets before the attack. So there they are going in. It looks like the cops going in looking to get the guy. They're in a hurry. There's the sword. No more edits. Wow. That is a sword. What do you know? Meghan Markle is eyeing a role in Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman ahead of UK return. Wow. So she's going to go back to the UK and she wants to be in The Gentleman, which is a TV show, I believe. What's up, Shadow Wings? How you doing? What's up, Jim Somniacs? Outlaw knives and pointy objects, too. There you go. Anna Ferris details. Oh, shit. Sorry, wrong story. My bad. Meghan Markle could be returning to acting sooner than expected with the Duchess of Sussex in talks for season 3 of Netflix, The Gentleman. Markle's being considered for a currently unknown role in Guy Ritchie's action comedy series. Page 6 has reached Markle's representative for comment. The Gentleman, starring Theo James, premiered on Netflix on March 24th. A Netflix representative confirmed the series had been renewed for a 3rd season. So, yeah, this guy, he's a good actor. He was good in the, I think he was in those like vampire stuff, like the Underworld series, wasn't he, in that stuff? Prince Harry ordered to pay a staggering amount of money in court case ahead of his and Meghan Markle's UK move. So they're going to move back to the UK now. Oh, what do you know? Prince Harry's return could drive a wedge between Prince William and King Charles. Huge mistake. The latest casting buzz comes after Australian outlets reported Markle had been offered a role in the upcoming project. That will be a quick way to kill the show. Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. So something is being discussed, but it's not being offered in the open. So Markle's best known for playing Rachel Zane in the legal drama Suits, appearing on the series for 7 seasons. She also appeared in films including Remember Me and Horrible Bosses before her engagement to Prince Harry. Markle's potential return to acting has been brewing for a while. She was linked to close personal friends, star-studded feature Brie Larson, Jack Quaid, Henry Golding, with Markle reported set to play herself. So I don't even know why. She probably leaked it in hopes that she could wish it into existence, maybe. So I liked Suits as a series. I thought it was entertaining to watch. You know, it wasn't like fact-based or anything, but it was an entertaining show. The guy who played Harvey Specter was a good actor. The guy who plays Mike, whatever is it, Mike something or other. Mike. I don't remember his last name. And then the boss, Jessica Pearson, was a good character, good actor. So her comeback has made headlines since Suits star Eric Roberts revealed she was plotting a return. Okay, well, it is what it is. Well, this is good news. U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll to step down before end of the year amid tensions with Hegseth. Good. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll will step down as his role before the end of the year. He's stepping down after months of tension with Pete Hegseth. Driscoll's departure comes after U.S. Army Chief of Staff was fired in April. Love Suits, new season on AMC. Is there a new season of it? It's still going? Wow. Dan Driscoll is expected to step down from his role by the end of the year, if not sooner. Driscoll's departure would leave the Army without a Senate-confirmed leader. Hegseth fired General Randy George as Army Chief of Staff in April without explanation. President Trump hasn't nominated a replacement. General Christopher Laniev, the Army Vice Chief, who was formerly Hegseth's senior military aide, is serving as acting Army Chief of Staff. There you go. Last year, Dan Driscoll told Politico's Dasha Burns there was no difference between men and women in combat. Yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go. Driscoll pushed woke gender policies while Hegseth was fiercely working to dismantle the Biden-era rules. Yeah, this guy's got to go. Like, how did he even get the fucking job?
You talked about recruitment and retention. How are you guys doing with women? The secretary has questioned the role of women in the military, specifically in combat. What's the morale like for the women in the Army and in terms of recruiting and retention?
So qualitatively, last week, I was in Dahlonega, Georgia. And so I'm biased, but the Army's premier leadership school is Ranger School. It's divided into 3 phases. One is at Fort Benning, Georgia. The other is in the mountains of Georgia, Dahlonega, and the last is in the swamps of Florida. I was at the second phase up in the mountains of Georgia on pretty steep terrain. We landed in, we did a patrol with some candidates who were trying to get what's called their Ranger tab. The remarkable thing to me was you could not tell the difference between the men and the women carrying the big rucksacks and the huge weapons up that hill.
Shit.
Everyone has the exact same haircut. Everybody's wearing the exact same clothes. There is no rank. And everyone stinks. They have been in the woods for a couple of days at this point. And I probably watched 100 soldiers walk by and could not tell you gender. And so what I would say to you is, looking at Ranger School, it has not changed its standard.
How many fucking women make it through Ranger School? Like, he couldn't tell the difference. Oh, really? Did you know there was any women there? Is that what you're telling me? Do you know there was any women in the thing you were seeing? Yes. Bullshit. Yeah.
It has a 50% attrition rate. It is the premier leadership organization in the world. And I desperately hope my daughter Lila, if she joins, goes to it and is
How old is
capable. She's 7.
Okay, so she's
got some
a little
years.
time.
Throw
that rucksack on her.
No,
now.
we start practicing. But I hope she can pass. I hope she can meet that standard. And I hope if she wants to be in combat arms, then she excels there. But so very specifically to answer your question on recruiting for females, as far as I know, in every single category, including recruiting, we are up.
Wow. Fuck this guy. He should have been gone a long time ago. Piece of shit. What a piece of shit. Yeah. Fundraisers for Lindsay Clancy's family tops $1 million. A GoFundMe crowdsourcing fundraiser for a child killer, Lindsay Clancy, has reached over $1 million. Wow. Over $1 million buckaroos. Over $1 million buckaroos. I'm so happy to see no on Prop 40 in California ads. The goal of the fundraiser is $2 million. Clancy faces first-degree murder charges for murdering her 3 kids. Yeah, what kind of world is it where people donate $1 million to support an admitted child killer? This is crazy. She killed her 3 children by strangling them. The fundraiser is primarily for Clancy's parents. The Musgrove Family Fund is for the 2 people who have not remained at her side throughout every step. The Musgrove Family Fund is for the 2 people who have remained at her side through every step of what followed. So they've remained at her side. Okay. Mike Ross, Suits ran from 2011 to 2019 and ran for 9 seasons. available on Netflix. That's what I thought. I didn't think there was new. I didn't think there was new series. For more than 3 years, Mike and Paula have shown up for Lindsay. They've attended her court proceedings and relocated from Connecticut to massive two shit so they can be close to their daughter. Paula is retired. Mike's a photographer. They have spent years absorbing the travel, lodging, and living costs required to maintain close to their daughter. I wonder how much the Gates Foundation donated. Yeah. How's your back, Jim? You don't look comfortable. My chair seems off. I don't know. I think one of my grandkids did something. I'm going to have to figure out what it is. It's just not feeling right, but it's all right. They have not walked away from their daughter. Sometimes you got to walk away. The purpose of the fund is to help Mike and Paula rebuild their financial stability. Clancy has received an outpouring of support, primarily from women. They have gathered in pink shirts, to support postpartum women. Well, pink shirts, doesn't that represent abortions? Is that the whole Code Pink abortion crew? Clancy had a nanny. Her husband worked from home, and she had many doctors and therapists who were helping her figure out her prescriptions. Yes, Bella always looks comfortable. Bella always looks comfortable. This is crazy. MS Now surrogate reporter suggests Cuban voters in Florida might not understand the difference between communism and democratic socialism because they're not different. All these people, these democratic socialists, are all communists. They want to seize the means of production. So, a reporter recently tried to explain the challenges the left is going to face in a general election in Florida. People who escaped from Cuba know exactly what communism is and precisely why they escaped. The reporter, however, seemed to think that these Cubans don't understand the difference. So,
well, Peter, there is a skittishness here on the ground in Florida. I just got off the phone with a Democratic strategist here in the state who reminded me that the general election electorate versus the primary electorate is very different here in Florida. In Florida, you've got about 1.5 million more registered Republicans than Democrats. You also have about 1.6 million members of the Cuban diaspora. Those Cubans often lean conservative. Many of them have a strong aversion towards
I don't know what that is.
What we've been hearing from Republican politicians, from President Trump on down, is a conflation, an incorrect conflation of communism and democratic.
No, it's not an incorrect conflation, you fucking cocksucker. They're on their fucking website says they want to seize the means of production. They want a revolution. They want to overthrow the U.S. government. What the fuck are you talking about, a conflation? Are you serious? What a bunch of fucking scumbags.
Socialism. If that messaging sticks, that could be a serious issue for Angie Nichols.
If the truth sticks, if the truth sticks, it'll be a serious issue. Fuck these people. People who fled Cuba know exactly where this is headed. They want no part of it because they've already lived it. These fucking people. I swear to Christ. Oh, look at this. Texas AG Ken Paxton wears an XXXY shirt to the WNBA game in Dallas last night. So Ken Paxton spotted at a Fever game with an XXXY shirt. There you go. Here he is walking into the game with his daughter.
We're here to support women's sports. I'm here with my daughter. We're going to have a great night.
Wow. Yeah, you Cubans don't know what communism good. Yeah, those people are fucking, like, man, pathetic. Pathetic. So, you cannot say the league is not political. It's the most far-left league in sports. Yeah, Caitlin Clark was hit, held, tackled, and abused the entire game. Well, I can't play these stuff for the game because they'll strike me. The refs are allowing assaults on Clark to happen are costing the league. The XY issue is additional evidence that the league is a mess. Yeah, it is. I heard this and I was like, man, this isn't good. Herman Miller chairs are in every newsroom and movie. I've been using one for decades now. Oh, I'll have to look into it. I don't. This is just some, I don't know. This was not a cheap chair. This was like an $800 chair. So, but it's not as comfortable as it should be. So President Trump on Friday announced that DOJ official Ed Martin will be leaving the administration. Sophie Cunningham's an awesome person. She shows that she loves our country. Good luck trying to turn Cuban Americans into socialists. I think they're going to have a problem. Like Sophie Cunningham would say. Ed Martin served as a pardon attorney and director of the Weaponization Working Group. Ed Martin has been with me from the very beginning, done an incredible job as attorney director of the Weaponization Working Group, and as United States Attorney for DC. He's leaving to go fight legal battles for the upcoming midterm and the presidential election. I know he'll do an outstanding job ensuring free, fair, and honest elections. So Ed Martin was appointed as a pardon attorney in May 2025, was named as the service director of the Weaponization Working Group. He's a New Jersey native, graduate of the College of Holy Cross, where he completed an Indonesian study program. He's been under attack by the left since Trump first appointed him as interim U.S. Attorney for D.C. He's facing an ethics charge after he sent a letter to Georgetown Law related to its DEI policies. Ed Martin sent the letter last year while he was interim U.S. Attorney for D.C. The D.C. bar is targeting Martin for pushing an end to diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. He was threatened with sanctions. The D.C. bar's attempt to target and punish those serving President Trump while refusing to investigate or act against actual ethical violations that were committed by Biden and Obama is a clear indication that the partisan organization's agenda. Yeah, they should just get rid of the Bar Association. Like, get out of here. What are you doing, Bar? Bar this, man. Barbed wire. You know, barbed anything. It's nuts. It's truly nuts. It is. It's truly nuts. Truly, truly nuts. I just can't, you know. At some point, enough's got to be enough, right? Enough has got to be enough at some point. Truly does. Truly, truly does. Trump lifts tariffs on 300,000 tons of ground beef and commits to a 25% price drop. That's a good thing. I was wrong. It's just AI junk about suits. Yeah, they do that all the time. They do that crap all the time and try to trick you. President Trump announced plans to lift tariffs on beef imports for 90 days, which is not a bad thing. You know, we need beef prices down, you know. The president vowed that he has a commitment to sell beef at 25% below current market prices, buying time for ranchers to rebuild their herds. Yeah, because the herds are at a 75-year low because of droughts and other crap that's going on and the screw worm stuff. So the White House official told the Post that he'll sign executive order suspending the out-of-quota tariffs within 2 weeks. There was something that came out today. McMahon changed the whole accreditation with the bar and colleges. Yeah, I saw that. That I think it's the American Bar Association, the ABA, that they're no longer going to be able to accredit colleges. They're like, no, you don't meet the qualifications anymore. So the Department of Agriculture said Trump's order shows his commitment to lowering the cost of everyday goods. Well, it's not bad, you know. Not a bad idea. Could be worse. Could be worse. Could be worse. Could be better. Could be worse. Who knows? So we'll see what happens, I guess, with that. The Trump administration has been eager to crack down on stubborn food inflation. Spokesperson did not address the question about which countries may supply additional beef. Beef cost $6.89 a pound, a 10% jump from the previous year. Roast beef prices are 13% higher than the past year. Steaks cost 10% more. The nation's herd levels have fallen to a 75-year low. Like, this is insane. The population is growing, demand is higher, and the herds are 75-year low. Meat industry is gross and disgusting if you think about it enough. It is. It is. Sounds El Sayed is kind of done in Michigan. I don't know. I've heard some stuff about him, but I don't know. Supposedly the black voters are not too happy about him. So the president said last year he lowered tariffs on beef imports. He also announced he's going to push the Department of Justice to open antitrust probes into them. I got some American Wagyu ribeyes from Costco, going to probably make them tomorrow on the Traeger. Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, meat packers like Tyson and JBS have floundered amid severe shortages. Tyson announced it's shutting down a major beef processing plant in Illinois, the second closure so far this year. Drought levels hit a nationwide record in 2024, critically impacting regions across the Southwest and Northern Plains. Abnormally dry conditions reduce the amount of grass available for grazing, making farmers more reliant on pricey feed. Further hampering supply was an outbreak of flesh-eating parasite known as the New World screwworm in Mexican cattle herds. So they lowered beef prices 30%, so now they're down to previously unaffordable high. Brilliant, yeah. A steady demand and low supply sent cattle valuations higher. Ranchers were tempted to sell more of their animals into slaughter than usual, meaning they kept fewer to breed, worsening shortage conditions. Yeah. Tyson is asshole, yes. Prior to the ban, Mexico was sending 1 million cattle to the U.S. each year. Well, it is. It is crazy, but we need a healthy beef herd, and we need to we need to fix the problem. We really do. So, armed and dangerous wife of Worcester cop sought as suspect in husband's death. Police in Massachusetts are searching for the wife of a Worcester Police Department officer who was found dead in their home on Tuesday morning. The wife, Karen Solomon, said to be armed and fled their Worcester home shortly before the police arrived. They found 57-year-old veteran patrolman Kurt Solomon's body. Police released a video of Karen Solomon where she was walking away from their home in a T-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops at 5:41 a.m. It was around 10 minutes after a 911 call came in regarding an incident at the home. So, the Worcester Police Department is actively seeking Karen Solomon regarding the death of a male at a residence. 58-year-old female, dark brown hair and brown eyes, was last seen wearing pajama shorts and a tank top. Per Telegram and Gazette, a call came in from a female at the residence. A male laid out in her backyard, unknown breathing. Officers found the body of a man on a rhino with blood in the home. Caller later identified as Karen Solomon. Only the dead man was in the home when the police arrived. Described the incident as being domestic in nature. They consider her armed and dangerous. Karen is the founder and president of First Help, a nonprofit that works on raising suicidal awareness and reducing the stigma around mental health concerns for police officers. You don't say. Yes. I'm not that kind of murderous Karen. Yeah. You don't say. We get lots of beef from Argentina. That's what's in your soup. Oh, good. So, yeah, she has a thing to help people from suicide, so she just decided to murder them instead. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's crazy. That's what I call crazy. Well, everybody, we did not hit the goal at all for the second hour. So I want to thank everybody who was here. Please remind everybody to hit like. Please subscribe. Come back tomorrow, Saturday night, for another show. We will see what happens with that. And maybe, just maybe, do better and have a good show. Go a little bit longer. We will have a special stream coming up probably next Saturday. Someday next week, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, probably Saturday, a special birthday stream with a bunch of guests coming on. So that'll probably be next Saturday night, the 29th, more than likely. But I'm trying to get it organized with people, like get Bronca to come and Joe to come, and maybe Gavea will come, and maybe Rackets, and maybe some other people will come on the show. We'll see what happens with that. I'm going to send everybody over to a couple shows and check them out. Have a great night, and come back tomorrow for Jim to tell you the news.